everybody? How you doing? Welcome into KB's The Purge. Me and Tony just hanging out trying to decide whether or not this storm is going to take us out. I think the sea breeze is keeping it back that way, so it's like about a mile away, but it's pretty torrential right now, so we'll see if we make it through. Welcome in, Donna Salamander, Meanie Weenie, Lucy Morningstar, Sandra, Tarak. If you're here, hope everybody will gather in. I make P, and let's get right to it. I think this one's a masterpiece, honestly. Once again, it's going to be the best purge I think we've ever had. So, got hopefully JJ and Jen, and also ChristyNevada might jump up if she is so bold tonight. She said she was taking her kids to the fair. So I told her that she's got to include me in more of the fun stuff that she does, but we'll see how that goes. But let's get to it. Suzanne, the other me.
I didn't even know that was happening. Dick. I put a roller skate in my pussy. Me as an interpreter, because I use my hands a lot, I am very good at fingering myself.
What we're really trying to go over. Steven, do you mind taking that filter off?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just trying to get into like the holiday spirit or whatever, and it.
Yeah.
Much.
Oh my god, dude.
People think Irish people are fucking obsessed with potatoes. I'm sorry, what is this? I'm shivering. This is a 15-hour potato. I'm too greedy to make anything that takes that long. This is fucking thrilling. You have to cut it up into tiny little slices. Oh, beef drippings. I can feel my heart drafting a resignation letter. She's tossing it so it counts as a salad. We are now layering these very dangerous potato slices. And now it's time to fucking compact it for 15 hours. There's more potato in this recipe than there is in an actual fucking potato. The potato has come so far and I'm so happy I'm alive to see it. There's already so much fat in this potato that deep frying it actually removes fat. I love when they put on that fucking thick salt. I love how fucking square it is. I am too lazy to make this, so how do I purchase these pleasure squares?
Because the guy did his coffee and says everybody's wasting their money buying the ventis because the venti fits in the tall. And this is the grande. And it makes sense. Look how wide it is. See how much wider? They get wider. We're just going to try it. Not a big deal. Just going to try it.
Try it in the grande first.
This one reminded me of Potts and her fictitious daughter that I imagined their relationship.
Okay.
She's got plenty of smoke.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's all the liquid. Okay? Yep. Can you get it all back in? Okay, and then we're just gonna go like this. Oh, so guess what? Y'all are wasting your money.
As you get better, lift one leg up, and as it tires, alternate legs. And simply bounce. Holding it there. And just simply bounce. When you get to a more advanced degree, you can lift both legs up and put your body into a V shape.
What? You've got like an hour. It's not dinner time.
This is crazy. If anybody ever played Risk, they would know where Cam Chat is. I was trying to log in to be able to do chat, but I'll have to wait till after the video's over. This is a weed eater motor in a mini Harley.
We just came from the doctor's part, but I guess he's upset. He was ready to go home. So he's walking himself. He's mad.
Benji. Benji. Hey.
Total side eye.
Hey Bruno, you don't see the problem with that? Hey, don't ignore me.
Oh, you're not.
Not move my couch. Walk around. Stop thinking about it.
All I'm saying is don't give me attitude.
Ginger, look at me. You're such a bitch.
Don't you step on the flowers. Hey, Layla.
No fucking mercy. The finest boots will stomp upon your legacy. They will send your soul straight to the deity. Come on.
Hey, what's your name?
Kind of look like the Internet League guys, though. This is ridiculous. He came as close as you get to dying.
Because bombs are falling from the sky will hit the target. Time to simplify. Whoa, time to simper fucking fly. Oh yeah.
right to the shop.
Yo, KB, is that the name you claim? Rolling through genres, let me play this game. Rap like a madman, Eminem with the slang, spitting bars so sharp like a rap hangman. From YouTube fame to Idaho's wild ride, you're breaking it down, putting truths aside. Kane B got the purge, no doubt he's the king, breaking down the case like a YouTube machine. Kane B the purge, bringing heat in the booth. Facts on the table, there's no room for proof. Throwing down lyrics while the world's watching. Is it guilty or free? That's the question we're knocking. Kane B the purge, taking Idaho by storm. He's got the heat and the truth breaking the norm. We're all glued to this case, no one's letting go. Will Brian be guilty or will he be let go? Kane B's in the game, watch him lay it all bare. Will justice find the truth or just disappear in the air? Here's my bubblegum pop, you ready or not? Kane B's in the mix with the case so hot. Rap, rock, pop, he's switching it up. Dancing through the genres like a YouTube cup. Got Kane B, the purge, putting the story in flow. Breaking it down with humor, watch the case blow. Boom, Kane B's riding with electric groove. Breaking it down, yeah, he's on the move. He's got the purge, so come and watch him reign. Sipping on knowledge like it's truth on a train. Kane B the purge, taking Idaho by storm. He's got the heat and the truth breaking the norm. We're all glued to this case, no one's let go. Will Brian be guilty or will he be let go? Kane B's in the game, watch him lay it all bare. Will justice find the truth or just disappear in the air? Now here I am, R&B vibes on deck. Let's get a little smooth, but don't forget I'm bringing humor, I'm bringing the sound. But this case got us all spinning round. KB with the truth, it's hard to ignore. Like waiting for that next chapter in the lore. KB with the truth, it's hard to ignore. Like waiting for that
Big
next
scary
chapter
Captain
in the
Shalia.
lore.
We're gonna come and eat the children.
I don't know. That's weird. We're having jittery internet. Sorry about that on that. I pulled cover. Donald Ferguson went in. Real Tea with Chrissy Maria. And who else snuck in here? Too fast. What happened to Chipmunk Feet? I like Chipmunk Feet better anyway. What do you think, Tony? Tony's out. I'll take yours. What is here? Who's watching? Today's show brought to you by Pink Drink. And yeah, let's get this thing underway. It's been kind of a wild week as far as stuff. So I've just been trying to, last couple weeks, just trying to kind of play it by ear, you know. And it's been working for the most part. You know that song? This one? You do it. This one. Here I go again. I need a chick singer on that one, unfortunately. So, yeah, believe it or not, today on The Purge, will be document waiting. Somebody left me a link earlier. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're going to be looking over that. According to Chirac Steelhawk, Ethan, I assume E means Ethan, had a kitchen knife in his hand. I don't know if it's another typo. So I'd like to get into that. And let's see what else. Yeah, we're gonna have the mighty J.J. Vance be joining us at some point here, hopefully. Chelsea Whitaker is in the house. Okay, then while we're here, hold on, don't go anywhere here. It's not the boring hour. I'm just gonna log in because it is. Hold on. Free membership Thursday. Hope you get some. Let's see what happens here. Nope, I'm backwards. Darn it. I hate cap lock sometimes. Booyah. Alright, now I gotta do my filming. Okay, let's do this. Let's get this right out. The first 5. And Megan P. Drum roll, please, my dear. It's here. Boom. There we go. All right, let's get into Muse. If I can find it, I don't know where it is. There it is. I should have Muse ready. You would think it's one of the highlights of the show. We never do. Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay. There, and let's see if it will allow me the pleasure. There we go. All right. And there's a couple new ones in here. These have been collecting dust over the last few days. Yeah, like this one's just not important right now. Filter through them here real quick. And let's see who got some memberships. Carola. Bad sheet. I thought Chelsea was in there. Suzanne B. Donald Ferguson. Trace DNA Lab, if you're here. You got one. Welcome to the perch. And wait, what's that one? No. Some of these, I don't know. Heather, she put stuff in here. Wow, Kelly Clarkson's ex passed away. And she had that song, you know, that was that her song, or did she just sing it to him? A B C D E F U. Wow. Interesting. That one must have affected her. She was all over the place with it. Let's see, I got some of these in here from the other show that I do on the other channel. Let's see. Okay. Don't worry, there. What's it? Oh. I'm trying to see it. This, unfortunately, Chelsea, I'm sorry, the whale did not survive this one. I know. It's bad. But the whale, they backed over the whale, dude. These people are dum-dums. Something like that. I don't know exactly what happened. It doesn't look... How do you know there's a whale, I guess? Anyway, sorry. There's kittens. That'll make you feel better. I don't know what this one is. Oh, that was dumb. Really dumb. I don't know. Okay, let me go to the stories. I'll get back to that one. Let's see here. Upset man allegedly unalived pregnant wife over Facebook message. Well, that should be interesting to read. I don't remember even pulling this one out. What she said. Missouri man, 25-year-old Sidney Wilson is accused after a Facebook message he received caused him to get upset. Reportedly, the unborn child, who was to be named Silas, survived a few days before passing. Oh, gosh. According to a release issued by Lebanon officials, the incident occurred on June 5th, about 11:37 p.m. Police responded to a North Adams Avenue residence after receiving a shooting report. Upon arrival, they found Reagan Wilson, a 21-year-old. How old was he? 25. Suffered multiple gunshots. Okay, so, wow. A probable cause statement obtained by Law and Crime detailed that moments before, Sidney Wilson allegedly received a message from Reagan that upset him. As per the document, the message implied that Reagan did not want him or his family there. At the time, Wilson was charging his 2022 Tesla Model 3 in Fenton, Missouri. As per the statement, Wise camera footage allegedly shows Wilson arriving around the home at 9:26 and leaving at 12:41. Wow, it is alleged that Wilson did Reagan and then fled the scene. He would then appear at the hospital where Silas was being treated. As reported by Ozarks First, Sidney and Reagan first separated. He admitted to owning a pew that matched. However, he stated he had sold it to an unknown individual back in April. He was eating out in public at the time. After an hours-long conversation, Wilson decided to sell him the thing. However, the statement added that video footage obtained from the dates provided by Wilson shows him ordering food and leaving. The video footage allegedly failed to show him talking to anyone. That's just evidence. That's what evidence looks like, guys. If you don't remember, I've painted you a simple picture of what you should expect to see. Maybe the video footage was doctored. Who knows? All right, so real quick here. I know Dago played it earlier, but ChristyNevada did come out with this footage, and I just wanted to talk about a couple things. And we can look at it a little closer than Dago did, because I have superpowers. So, is Christy talking?
Hello, welcome.
So she has to... Oh, you can't see.
Want to try terzepatide?
So this is terzepatide.
Come on, man.
And it is the #1 weight.
So, just to get into it a little bit. How is this happening? What's going on? Is Christy talking?
Hello.
This is wild. Oh, yeah. Anyway, okay, you can see me, so that's good. Last 24, welcome in, sir. Nice to see you. Did you bring your friend with you? Is she worked out any shit up today? Yeah, it is. Fair enough. So, ChristyNevada, as you guys know, started a channel not too long ago, and she's been getting all these FOIA requests and body cams and unbeknownst to me, I just guess I just didn't notice, she was getting like 70,000, 50,000 hits and views, and even though she was monetized, for some reason they unmonetized these videos or unmonetized her. They won't pay her for them because she didn't do what she's doing here, just talk over it, because it's the reuse of footage, which is just wild to me. They are really making a ton of money off her, I would suggest, and whatever. Which is just so that's why she started doing like talk over. What's going on here? I have so much stuff going on in my head. Where did Chris? I guess we gotta do it. We gotta go for it. Go for it. Sculpt Metalhead, what's up, brother? How you doing? I see you. Miss Potts, my darling. How are you, love? And let's go to Chris. Right there. Hang on. Oh, let's see. Tell me to hang on. Look at this. She still doesn't come up in the search bar. That's one of the best things you can do for me or any other creator. Yes, it doesn't even come up. I can look at her public records though. Interesting. Sorry. Idaho4. There we go. Okay, got it. Nailed it. And it's, I don't know
Hello,
why.
welcome. I know this was short notice. I seen that Idaho Statesman posted the 1112 cam video in real time movement, so we will be able to actually see the car moving around in that. So I went ahead and recorded it. It does have commercials, so I'll try to skip through them and that just so we can see this. But I figured everybody'd want to see it. I think it's interesting. So welcome, P. Fox, Sandra, Nina. Nice to see you guys. I haven't got to see you for a while, Nina. So it's always good to see you. But I want to see what we can do with this. Let me go back here. Oh, wrong one. Here I am again, screwing it all up like I do.
Oh, she needs help.
I don't know why it's giving me trouble.
I like her little template thing, though.
There we go. Here we go. The time speeds ahead.
Okay, I ask you as a friend right now. Now, I could calculate, I could put, like, LED, maybe Brian or whoever, I'm sorry, the police replaced the bulbs in the back of this on the brake lights. Wow, the storm's right over me right now. It's crazy. With super bright LEDs or something, but look at this. I mean, it literally encompasses the entire vehicle. And so you do notice, oh, look there. For some reason, it goes from mega solar explosion to half size. Why? Did he let off the brakes there? Is that what it is? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? And so the brake lights are that bright that they look at how much of the area, like, it's not only covering the car, but it's covering what I would say is about 10% of the entire frame of this video. Really? Is that something? And if you look at these little flare outs on here, those almost look fake right there. And then boom goes the half. The car takes a turn. Now, Christie's is darked out because for some reason they highlighted this version of it. But there you go. Right there's their first person. I'm trying. What I wanted, I keep meaning to do it. And I get caught up with life, I guess. You see what we were talking about with Dago there earlier. Is the people in this house, and allegedly this is Hunter Johnson's residence. Last I heard. Don't snap my head up if I'm wrong. But you'll see now somebody come running. I think they're right here. And then you see them come flying out the door. You guys can hear.
Here we go.
Lightning or not, it is tremendous. Oh, it's finally giving us some cloud cover, though. It's been 94 the last 6 days. Okay, so you'll see them move in the house. And then, you see that? Okay, so you had like a little light movement up here, and I need to get these times. But I feel like it's important that, especially if it correlates somehow with the Banfield kids that are running across in the background when the police are talking to the kids there. So here.
The time speeds ahead.
Right there, somebody comes out. You see him come out. Which is funny because right as the car goes by, allegedly, boom. Somebody goes running out. See that? Back and to the left. Back and to the left. And I guess it just goes to show that it's kind of a time-lapse camera with the way that they are, it's jittery. Oh, there goes the copyright. There goes the chat replay. Humpty Dumpty, what in the world did you do to me here, Christy? Hold on. Oh, this is just some ad. Okay, that should be okay. Anyway, okay, there it is again. Time, it's a full screen now, yep. And there you see the guy running on. It's like, it just appears to me that someone is back and forth in this area. Anyway, I just noticed that. I thought I'd point it out. And let's see. And then also the other thing, just in case Dago's watching, or if anybody's interested, after whatever the second vehicle returns, this is suspect vehicle 1, and Dago seemed to be of the ilk that this is the police car, which it does certainly. Ford Fusion or whatever, right there. So I wanted to look. Wow, look how lights are, dude. I need to do a test with that. I'm gonna get one of those cameras at Home Depot or something. Oh yeah, it's Christy. Christy's at the fair, I guess. They must be having nice weather there. 5 seconds. There, actually, that's a better spot, right? Look at that. It just goes. And you can almost see it. It's a completely noise. I don't know. I guess I'd have to have the other vehicle to compare it to, but there's a little bit larger version for it. I'll clip this out in a minute, and maybe at the end of the show, after we talk to Jage and everything, we'll compare it to the police vehicle and see if they match up or whatever. So that's suspect vehicle 1 returning, and watch how bright the headlight gets. I mean, how convenient. It covers the entire vehicle. I guess that's just a flaw the Ring doorbell people didn't notice, right? Okay, so that's the returning vehicle. That's just for shits and giggles. It looks like somebody's like kind of peeking around the corner right here. I guess there's audio. Alright, so the vehicles come in. Let's see people moving around the house there. And then I guess it's going to cut. This is now the vehicle's leaving. And you see it's darkened out, unfortunately, because as you can see, they highlighted the North Star of Uranus right there. Whatever the fuck that is. But you can see the people moving here. And when you, that's just a bottle settling. And you see somebody downstairs, and you see, I think there's somebody over here, but these two open the curtain, and they're like pointing at the car. So there seems to be a lot of attention drawn to that activity for some reason. I'm not sure why. Who needs Super Planet Girl needs money? How about we give out 5 free memberships instead? Yay! Janet, Criminal Confidential, what's going on? If you want to come up, let me know when you're ready. Kristen Marie got one. Kim Young. Super Planner Girl, you didn't get one. Planner Girl. Twiz doing Twiz stuff. Where's Twiz? Twiz, you're watching. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So I think that for the most part was the most we had on that. So I'll go ahead and play it. Normal size, normal speed, all that stuff. One more time, just for shits and giggles. Thank you, ChristyNevada, for giving us this. I'm sure it wasn't free. And yeah, YouTube does have its ways, this platform, of doing stuff. That can be less than exciting, and I've given up almost on Rumble now. I keep trying to get everybody over to JJ. My channels over there on Rumble. Now part of it is my fault that I haven't done the multi-stream thing, and then part of it is also my fault because I haven't broadcast over there at all, just to try it out, just to kick the tires or whatever. Silent G, hello. Let's not block Silent G. Mitakayui Oyesain again. I'll never get it. I'd never go. Meanie weenie. It's in the house. And let's see, Super Planet Girl, it's in me already. You're old news. Little Harbor Oak got one. Miss Linda Lane, Kim Young, Gracefully Salty, Claire S. Congratulations. Welcome to the Purge. And yeah, Donald Ferguson, see, I bought my own gavel to jury your duty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. That's great. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there, Meanie, I promise. I got a confession to make. I had, like, when I first moved in here, I had like 2 payments that didn't go through on my rent, because we pay rent for the land, but I own the trailer, you know. and I just got a letter somewhere that I owe $2,000 now because lawyer fees and all this shit. So I was like, this just work. So yeah, well, hopefully, hello, Mary Hope, and welcome in. Hopefully we get squared away. I'm sure they'll work with me on it or something. It got out of control really quick. I thought they were paid because it automatically comes out. But if I was short some money, I suppose that's what happened. And so yeah, I'll keep you posted on that stuff. So okay, well, you can really hear that thunder now. Last time, I think, was it last show, JJ, or the show before? We had hail, and that was hitting the roof. But I got a metal roof, so sounded like we were inside a set of some Bali, something in here. So, all right, let's see what else we got there. Keep on going. News and so if there's Joe Exotic. If it's true that Lucy, would you please post the link so I can download the Pullman Docs? Because I have them here. They're buried way back. Yeah, or somebody, please help me with that. And I'll take a look through them. Two former Minnesota teachers who were dating were found unalived in a, and so Crystal Marshall, 32, and John Gans were found unalived in a Pierce house. And Marshall had failed to appear in a divorce or a driving while impaired charge, the guy, and then the girl failed to appear in a divorce hearing. And then they went and did a welfare check in Minnesota there, and they found them, one pew-pewed and the other pew-pewed by the other one. So they were warm and vibrant souls, fiercely laughed freely, and put her children at the center of her world. She dreamed of watching them grow, learn, and thrive. Rest in peace. Sorry about that. By now, I'm sure you've heard this over and over a million times. I had a little something to add to it. Comedian Matt Rife buys the home that inspired The Conjuring, and also at the same time becomes the guardian of Annabelle the doll. And so apparently he has a background in the ghost chasing stuff. And so there must be some connection that, there's the guy that passed away that originally was on tour with the doll. Ironically, in Gettysburg, he passed away suddenly. I don't know that they've released the cause yet, but apparently, yeah, the doll just keeps on going. There he is, and there's Matt. I don't know. They're, with Hollywood, they're all a bunch of freaking weirdos. I have one clip here of some chick with John Legend, and she's doing the Baphomet symbol. Just disgusting. This is exciting food news. Reese's and Oreo are teaming up for 2 first-of-their-kind products. If you can believe it, this has finally happened. If you ever dreamed of this like I have, spent many days. So they have Reese's with Oreos. So now you get the cookie crunch in the Reese's itself. And then you have Oreo with Reese's. Now, they do have a chocolate or peanut butter Oreo already. I don't remember if it had a chocolatey shell or if it was a peanut butter shell, like a Nutter Butter. But anyway, this is the authentic product there, and you can purchase that in stores. Let's see. Let's see. Just a few more. I should probably open the browser and get my friends up here to discuss with us. Fox. She's a P Fox. Let's check out this storm, shall we? Ooh, look at these conditions. Oh. Put the link and then, yeah. You want to come up? Come up. You come up too, Christy, if you like. You want to hear from me? Tony Stevenson, welcome in, my friend. Hey, Rollamata. I always think of Rollamata when I hear about a roller. You can roll a roller to your friend. You can purchase that story. Alright, so let's take a look. Yeah, look at this, boy. I'm in this area over here. Let's hit the play button. Boy, that thunder is rumbling. Let me get it going. Wow, it just snuck right up, didn't it? Boom, boom, boom. See now, the whole state looks like it's covered. So, I guess they were saying that the winds were switching today because we've had this pattern where it was blowing from the east to the west, or the west to the east, and now it's blowing the east to the west, and so it overcomes that sea breeze. I mean, we're crunchy out there. We're really crunchy. Look at that. Well, that's a big one. I mean, when I looked out right now, the stratocumulus were just like supercell. So who knows? Maybe we can get a little tornado or two out of it. Hopefully not. This thing is, Lucy told me to seek shelter from this when it first formed. I don't know, maybe Klystron 9 doesn't reach out that far. It looks like just some dust. Looks like it never formed out there, but we're starting to get stuff firing off the coast of Africa. What I was hoping, it was looking like this one was going to go and curve up. And so at some point, I go surfing right directly across the strait. So I take 60 right over, 60 goes like this, and you wind up in Melbourne. So it's about 200 miles. And then you have to, okay, so like if a storm is just right out here, that means the swell direction is just straight on. And so the waves will just kind of jack up and close out. You get like a 1 second ride. It's thrilling, but it's not as fun as when you got a storm that's hovering over here and you have a swell direction. And so it'll tend to make the waves peak or peel more. And so that way when it hits over here, Satellite Beach, or down, I go to Vero Beach in the end because there's a place called Wabasso just south of Sebastian's Inlet there. And I think the inlet's right here and just on the other side of it. And so the swell direction will come here and it'll peel instead of just coming straight in. Right? So I'm just going to look forward to some storms coming over and hopefully they don't make landfall. I was worried for Chelsea more than me. Yeah, he's had a lot of last messages, hasn't he? Latah County Prosecutor PT, the lead douche in Brian Koberger case, spoke with 48 Hours Peter Van Sant. In the interview, which was released on a special 48 Hours podcast, Thompson opens up about the immense pressure of the Koberger case. There it is. They pretty much have revealed all the details, and I'm very curious to see if all of these interviews that they're patting themselves on the back and stroking each other off with won't come back to haunt him very soon. We have, I think Diego said, about 30 days left on this plea. And as we're finding out, appears to be more motivation and reason for the plea. Looking back on all the documents, watching Lana, I think you've seen that you have a judge and a prosecution that were working together to bias. And so she was just beating her head against the wall. Now, it appears also that Ann Taylor is keeping her mouth shut, which I think is a good thing. And that's very telling, actually, I think. But I from what I understand, she will not be able to represent Koberger if there is an appeal. And if he does do the appeal, I think, Lucy, were you saying earlier that the, what was I going to say? That the plea deal would be, that you go back to right back where you were before if the plea deal is violated to be able to have this appeal. And so there does appear to be a lot of reasons whether or not this happens, who will represent him. I think these are questions that will be seen. Did somebody put the documents thing in there for me? Oh, let me put Jen. Come on up here, kiddo. It's been a minute, so we got a lot to talk about. You guys will see today how we are when we haven't seen each other for a while or chatted for. That's the other thing. That seems to be the problem, is getting this plea through to whoever is going to be in making the decision on that. Don't yell at me, Jen. I was saying I got all jumbled. What was it, Chelsea? Darn it. It was from your show, I'm thinking, too. Hi, Mentricant. And let's see. Whoever is giving the permission. Oh, the wording of some of the documents. I forgive me, I can't remember exactly which ones were focused on the last time. But it seems that the wording of the documents is vague enough that that either the defense let it go because it leaves room for them to work, or the wording of the documents is very vague in many cases that it will work in the favor of the prosecution. So that remains to be seen. Is that who will be in charge of making that decision? Is Bill Nye, the science guy? That's crazy. Lucy, all right. It's beautiful there. Nice. Okay, so I see Bill. Okay, I think we watched this. We watched it on Not Kane B. I think we had a couple crazy takeaways, but I don't think it's anything anybody hasn't heard from here. So, yeah. This picture, I was going to Muppetize it. I haven't done it yet. I was begging to be Muppetized. How pleased with themselves. Just old, relaxed, Sheshley Buckets there. Somebody's asking where she is. I don't know. I mean, this is one interview that she did. So she's around. I don't know. Maybe she's baby farming or something. But I will actually. I did read this on not KB, but I'll do it. I'll do it here also as well in case nobody. Actually, this was the better of all the interviews that we've seen so far. I have not watched a couple of the ones like the Steve G one that came out today. And I think there was a couple more. But I'm really kind of excited to get to those documents. So I opened it, Heather, Piggy and Bad Santa. That's good, Bad Santa. Good. Is Bad Santa a Muppet though? For 2.5 years, Thompson carefully worked with a strong team of investigators and blah blah blah. I couldn't walk away from it, Thompson said. I guess I could have, but I couldn't live with myself if I'd done that. I mean, these are some of the better Thompson quotes, but Buckets gets in there. Thompson's term was supposed to end, but he didn't because he wanted to stick it out and stick it to this guy. And so it is his, if you're interested in that, his 33rd year as a prosecutor. He has 3.5 years left to serve on this term. I certainly question whether or not he's going to complete them, but again, he ran unopposed to get this elected position currently. So what will happen, I don't know. That will be up to Mr. Bill. Oh no. It's weird, that whole song is just those two quotes. Yeah, I'll plead. It's exactly what Stevie Nicks is pretty amazing. That song, I saw an interview with her, and apparently that song was a direct message to Lindsey Buckingham, who she was going through a divorce with at the time. And a lot of those hit songs are just them love songs or hate songs or whatever from the relationship back and forth to each other. So they had to literally play and sing each other's songs to each other. Pretty wild time. Okay, so I didn't want to have to swear him in, and he probably didn't want to have to do it, but we both knew that was the... So hang in there. Koberger was sentenced in late July. I haven't brought my... Oh, yeah, okay. So, while the case concluded last month, there's no urgency for Thompson to finalize this part of his life. His files still lay on the floor in his office. I haven't brought myself to clear them out yet, he said. I probably won't for a while. Thompson and Senior Deputy Prosecutor Ashley Jennings sat in the courthouse Friday, awaiting media interviews. Their schedules are filled with back-to-back. I've yet to see one with Cheshley Buckets, but apparently they're out there, so we'll just keep looking for that. But I can't. You know she's going to slip up. You know, even more than she'd hear. Their schedules are filled with back-to-back requests, they said, but they're happy to do it. Oh, I bet they are. They want the public to know as much as they can, Thompson said, and while he is more than willing to tell people what he is able, he won't speak the name. What is it, Harry Potter? Let's see here. I knew something wasn't right, Dollinger remembered. When they said he had a quad, it was pure disbelief. Dollinger's the chief of police there in Moscow, Idaho now. Moscow police Captain Tyson Barrett called Thompson on Sunday morning. Thompson, who plays the guitar in several local bands, was in Spokane playing at a folk music festival. He quickly returned to Moscow and headed to the King Road home. He recalled that he and Jennings weren't overcome with emotion or shock at the grisly scene inside. They were focused. We were observing and processing what was going on. How could you not be shocked? He waited till the end to cry. That's what it was. We were observing and processing what's going on, analyzing and thinking about what next step. I did watch enough of the Steve G interview today to see that he is clearly still entirely brainwashed by this whole thing, and it's sad. Did you guys notice my tan line today? I really got a redneck thing going. I think I was in the sun for 10 minutes, 20 minutes total all week. That's with a tight neckline going. We were observing and processing what's going on and analyzing and thinking about what next steps. We had a great team. We knew the routine. We knew the process, and we stuck with the process. We did what needed to be done. It's like the most generic statements ever. Well, they certainly did do what needed to be done, didn't they? And with the chain of custody on that knife sheath and the hours of question before it was found, it doesn't seem to me that ever could have been entered as evidence against him. He shouldn't even have made it into the courtroom. It's just too sticky of a situation. If they had anything else that they had, they changed the cell phone data to fit around him. They've changed the timeline. And they were like so excited because they had so much pressure on them that when the FBI called and said, look into this guy, all of a sudden everything just collapsed and crumbled into this BK circle of wagons. Right? Let me get caught up in the notes here. YBE, what's up? Nice to see you, my friend. They lives here. Dan, my man, the big Dan. Keep it real. Right on, right on. Okay, Jen, if you're listening, if you have trouble with logging ins and stuff, just try a different browser. For instance, the one I'm using is Firefox. So you may or may not want to try using a different browser. Just a suggestion. If you don't have it, it takes literally like 1 minute to download. Okay? You should pop up. For some reason, I don't see anything. Let me refresh this page. Let's see what we got. Okay, now it looks better. See what happens there. I'd like to have you. Let's see here. We're good again. Yeah, I that seems to fix all the problems, Jen. Alright. So this is good. Stick around, guys. Don't go anywhere. The following weeks were traumatic, and I guess this is what the Chapins were referring to with the officers taking time away from their own families and working on the case. Work consumed 16 to 17 hours a day, and I think you could fill in your own blank there, or the mad lib that says, and we were getting nowhere. And just that one thing, the Brian Koberger name, was enough for them to just drop everything, crane their necks around, forget about anything else they've done, forget about the fact that they cleared Showalter and gone into his apartment under the guise of a maintenance or a janitor who allegedly was there for a water quality check. And the water, I guess he went in there with a friend, because even though Showalter was out of town, apparently they got a maintenance request for a water quality check. And for some reason, while he was in there, he noticed some spatterings of blood, and he's not there for detective work, but somehow while he was in there, he was able to get a hold of the case detective on the Idaho4 case, the biggest case. Now, I did a little live the other day where I went into the Clearwater Police, and I was trying to contact the detective who was in charge of a case where I grew up, in the neighborhood I grew up. It took 2 weeks for her to get back to me. Somehow this janitor had a direct line. And I heard today, and that's why I'm excited to look at these Pullman documents, is that there was footsteps leading away from 1122, and they led directly to Showalter's house, and then there was something else. I don't know if it was put in the beginning of this chat or what. Am I muted? Can you hear me now? Okay, so, all right. So the following weeks were traumatic, working some 16 hours a day. Days became weeks without any clue of what we were doing, and officers began feeling the same anxiety as the public. I'll bet they did, times a million. But the killer had left his DNA on the knife sheath, and investigators suspected he had raced away in a white Hyundai Elantra, which was never there. They traced both to Koberger and arrested him. Okay, so there's your problem, right? This is the kink in the back between the lumbar and the sciatica or whatever. Is how did you get to Koberger exactly? A lot of people seem to forget that. My ear is sweating. Okay, so during the 7-week hunt, Fry, who now leads a police department in the Tri-Cities, and his department took heat from those who claimed the small department was not equipped to handle the case of such magnitude. Clearly. Dollinger called it people spitting venom. So a lot of people have said that Dollinger probably did not want to take this job. This was the most unwanted position in the history of the world. But he is in there trying to diplomatically restore the honor of that, which will never happen. This is all going to be a house of cards crumbling it down. So hang on. Thompson and his prosecution team tuned out the national noise of media attention and misinformation swirling online. They simply wanted to buckle down and built a case that was pretty darn compelling against Koberger. It wasn't solid, but it was pretty darn compelling. We might have had a darn tootin' chance to get him because it was compelling. We didn't have any facts, but it was compelling. Darn it. Here's the problem. There wasn't a doubt in his mind who had done it. There wasn't even a single worry about heading into trial with no motive. It wasn't needed to prove he was guilty. And we were discussing it like, hey, there's Jen. Oh, wait, hold on. We hear you. Is it purge? Are we purging? Yay, she made it. Let me go back over.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why did I mute you? Hold on. There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yay, I did it.
You made it.
I'm so proud of myself. I'm the smartest woman alive.
Let me make sure the echo's off. I'll turn you up a little bit. Everybody, welcome Jen from Criminal Confidential. I've been keeping her hard in my basement, trying to let her build up her opinions on the case. So how are you, my dear? Very nice to see you. Hi, typically unique. Good to see you, Kim.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, you heard about my rent situation. That's going to be a fun little thing to traverse.
Oh man,
that's what you get for putting stuff.
Adulting is hard. I didn't sign up for that.
It all happened kind of when I was just first moving in here, so I'm going to plead stupid. See if they. That always works.
I think you'll do good at playing stupid.
I'm thinking about 99% of the people in here.
But you're playing. I didn't say you were stupid. I said you're playing.
Fair enough.
I play stupid all the time.
I'll allow it. Yeah. No. A lot of times, if you've done something wrong, you're like, I'm an idiot. People will be like, oh, you're not that bad. Try to defend
Yeah.
yourself. So
Just
what's
like
going on
Payne,
with you,
based on
kiddo?
just like Payne puts in the PTA, based on my experience and training.
My
He did that for a
experience
reason.
and knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, well, based
As a
on my
police
experience and
officer.
knowledge, I didn't know any better. Well, you should be held at a higher standard, buddy.
Wait, what did Mary Holt say? Hold on. What is this? Hey, Jen.
What?
Always nice to see and hear from you. Mark and Betty.
I'm not looking in chat, so hi, everybody.
I don't know. Mark and Betty, I think, got trigger happy on. Sorry about that, Mary Holt. She says, "Hi, Jen. Always nice to see you with a heart." So anyway, yeah. This gets pretty interesting. This article I'm reading here right now, but we can get back to that. What have your impressions been? It's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Oh my God, it's been crazy. It's been real crazy. These these documents are embarrassing. I don't know why they ever put them out, to be honest.
And apparently they're going to be releasing some photos as well.
Oh man. Yeah, let me guess. They're going to be blurry. I mean, come on.
Or there'll be some weird angle that causes more questions than the answers once again.
I mean, come on. Camera phones and video cameras do not take that bad of footage anymore and pictures. I don't think they ever did to begin, even when they first came out. I think remember those Nokia candy bar phones and the flip phone, Motorola Flip, when it came out? I don't even know if those even had a camera, but you know what I'm saying.
Right,
the first camera phone that I had.
The Razor was the first one with a real good camera, yeah.
That's right. I had a pink one. Yeah, I don't even think those took as blurry of a photo.
Yeah, that certainly was obvious. And now, I mean, yeah, it's like the documents themselves are verifying everything we've been saying all along.
Yeah, a lot of the early rumors are coming out to be true. And the most interesting one that I saw was the creepy guy at the Corner Club. I mean, that's big. And that's the same guy, if I remember correctly, that had his DNA under Maddie's fingernail, right? What's his name? Barenberg?
Which one was it?
I think Cole Barenberg. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, there's a lot of documents, so I may be wrong. But I think that's the same guy that got kicked out of Corner Club that was being creepy. And he's also the same one whose DNA was found under Maddie's fingernail.
Well, there's also, I guess, another video I haven't seen yet that shows what appears to be a guy in a hoodie walking from Showalter's residence directly to the back door of 1122 around the time of the crime.
I saw there was one of those documents that mentioned something about footage from the dorms on campus of some guy coming and going with a backpack and a hoodie, something like that.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Exactly. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
So
what frat was Showalter in allegedly or whatever? Do you remember? I don't remember.
What's that?
Do you remember what frat Showalter was in?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Lambda or Tie by Miss American Pie. Like that. I'm not sure.
Delta Gamma dumbasses.
Yeah. They're it just goes to show you that I think there are interesting things on the way, even more, and I feel like they have literally dumped everything as much as they could all at once because they know it's going to take as long as Koberger has to do his appeal before 100%. We work our way through it. And
they did that to Anne. They're just going to dump a whole bunch of stuff on you and confuse and distract and overwhelm and kill time. That's what they did with the discovery with Anne. Just data dumped on her And I think that's what they're doing to the public, to be honest.
The same tactics that they used before. It wouldn't surprise me. What else was there? Let me think.
Tommy was talking on his show earlier about Brian and his, autism and other conditions that he has being an issue as far as his, his ability to have his ability to have the ability to make the decision to plea. I mean, if you look at Anne's documents, her own words saying that he struggles with seeing the impact of like long-term decisions, understanding the gravity of situations, not those exact words, but I can pull up the doc if you want. But basically, I've been saying that, like, that's concerning to me. Like, how can you go from saying he can't assist in his own defense because of his condition, but then he's able to make this big decision? Like, I don't see how those two can both exist at the same time.
I think that a couple things lead me to believe that there is a future for him in this, with the smiling of Masseth, the cold, calculated, what do you call it, deadpan face that all the attorneys in BKA had throughout the penalty or the sentencing and the victim impact statements. I think that BK is, he was. I don't know if you saw any of the Not Kane Bees where we were playing these psychologists videos where they're analyzing.
Oh God!
And one of the guys went so far as to play the whole victim impact statement, zoomed in on Koberger. There's Salty Sleuthy Swear. Stormy, welcome in. And that's a lot to say. It's a big mouthful.
That's what she said.
It's the DP. It's the DP.
Love the DP. Just kidding.
You're not kidding.
I'm not talking about the death penalty.
We're not going into that right now. We're just not going there.
Okay.
We can if you want. I mean, we'll save that for later. It's something to look forward to.
It's only Thursday. I say that for the weekends.
All right.
Hey, JJ.
We'll have to do a part 2. JJ!
Are we purging?
We are doing our best to purge.
Nice. Ambush purge. I didn't even see it coming, sir.
That's what
Good
she
to see
said.
you.
Yeah, I do stuff.
The whole victim impact
I was like, wait a second, we're purging in an hour. What is going on in life? I had no idea.
I tried to start early enough that we could squeeze it in before your show tonight. Folks, make sure that you join us on Operation GCD tonight. What, you want to throw a little plug our way for your coming up show tonight?
Dude,
yeah, plug it in.
I will plug some stuff, dude. I'll plug some stuff. Howdy, fellow purgers. Good to see y'all. Hopefully Kane's not breaking up with folks again today and rage quitting again like you did last week. Jen, excellent to see you, ma'am.
You too.
Yes, folks can check out Operation GCD Thursdays tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. No, actually, 9:15 Eastern Standard Times for some Anatomy of the Satanic Panic.
Oh, good. Okay, more of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, that's where I unpack the psychological operations. What is this?
Will that be part of the discussion? Oh, Jen, a reminder, on the 8th, we're appearing on Operation GCD, which happens to be tomorrow night.
That's right.
Right on.
That was my next plug. Y'all are joining me for the conversation with Phil Zazzaro, and we're going to talk some Idaho4 books propaganda.
Oh, kick-ass. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Phil's a professional book reviewer, and he's a dude with a lot of details, and he's a routine guest on Operation GCD. I highly recommend folks check that out too, and I hope y'all can both join me on that one.
I'll be there for sure.
Right on.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I had a Baby Ruth bar, but it didn't make it to airtime, unfortunately.
Yikes.
McDonald's does have a throwback to when they stole was it Seals and Croft that they stole the McDonald Land characters from? What was it? Hanna-Barbera? No, you know what I'm talking about, JJ.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. They stole Grimace, dude. You stole Grimace, dude. What's going on?
So the people that did HR Puff and stuff, I can't remember the name. It's something Croft, and they were approached by McDonald's to do, if you're hungry, snap into a sidebar.
Yeah, you sound undernourished, sir. You might need a sidebar.
I did drink my Monster Energy, so I should be picking it up here sooner or later. I hope this isn't a redundant story, but anyway, the McDonald's approached them to make a character thing for advertising purposes. They went ahead and made the McDonald Land with the Mayor McCheese was in charge, and you had the Hamburglar and all the little fry guys and stuff like that, and then they never paid them for it. And so they continue to use that theme to this day, and those people have never been paid for their work.
Typical.
You can imagine all the. So anyway, right now they have.
I got a McDonald's. Wait a second. Don't McDonald's fun fact me and then not let me repeat a McDonald's fun fact your way.
Oh, bring it on.
Did you know that in Japan they call Ronald McDonald Donald McDonald?
Why is that?
Because they can't pronounce their R's. I'm not making this shit up,
I thought you were
dude.
going to say the metric system.
It's the metric system. It's the Japanese metric system. Yeah, they got some shrimp burgers, some good stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have much beef over there. You can get some chicken burger.
It'd probably be Kobe beef, which is really awesome.
I never had it.
Yeah, I don't know if they got any Kobe beef. They got some dog over there. You can get some dog.
That's not Japan.
That's why if I order Chinese food, I'm sorry, but I only get shrimp because I don't trust. I'm picky with my chicken to begin with, and I'm not.
You know your Asian cuisines there, Kane, because that is actually Korean. But you can get some dog in Korea if you want some dog.
I do love some Korean barbecue. Korean barbecue.
Oh, I love. Oh yeah, Korean barbecue. Some beef on a leaf. I'll do some beef on a leaf.
Right on.
Yeah, I had a Korean.
Yeah, I was stationed in Korea for a year. I really enjoyed my full experience there.
Jealous. That sounds awesome.
Minus the dog meat. No, I was there during the World Cup back in I don't know, long time ago. 20 years ago.
Back in a long time ago.
22 years ago, maybe 2003.
Right now.
So I went to the World Cup. I was a captain of my soccer team there at the base, and got an invite to the World Cup party in Seoul. That was quite an event.
That seems like an experience. Sounds like an experience.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
A few international incidents, and then eventually decided I wouldn't leave base for a while.
You caused
it was a good time.
international incidents?
Yeah, just a few. Just a couple.
Was it kind of like a Naked Gun 33 1/3 type of thing?
No. I started a riot at a soccer match. That happened.
Not surprised. Somehow I'm not surprised.
Allegedly, JJ.
Allegedly.
Well, here's the deal. It was inadvertent. I didn't do it intentionally. I mean, so I made a completely legal slide tackle on a dude. I was playing in an amateur soccer league, so I played on the base soccer team, but we played in like an amateur league in Korea. So we played like Korean teams in these stadiums and shit. And there's a lot of folks there, and the Korean National Police had to come in and start breaking some skulls with their sticks. But we got out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. But I slid tackle a dude, and then he gets up, and then he tries to come at me, and then I wasn't having that. He tried to go for my throat, so I threw him down, and then and it turns out apparently he broke his leg somehow in the mix. I don't know how that happened, but
oops.
Benches cleared, stands clear. Korean National Police are busting skulls. We're running out of there. I'm like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Wow, you're lucky you didn't get thrown in some foreign prison.
Oh, they wanted to. I assure you, ma'am. I assure you, ma'am. They tried to fry my ass.
Once you were on the base, you were safe, though, huh?
Well, I mean, allegedly, because then they were still trying. They wanted blood over the matter. I'm like, what? I'm like, they're like, yeah, the dude, he was like 40 or something like that. He's got like 13 kids or grandkids or something. Supported them all. I'm like, this doesn't even sound like a believable story you're telling me right now. You know what I mean?
Sports then, if he's got that much responsibility, people depend on him.
he's the one who started all of the shenanigans, and then again, like all I did was
did
a
on
legal slide
purpose.
tackle.
Yeah, they
Well, I did
don't see
illegal.
it that way in other countries.
I might have broke his leg because I hit him hard as fuck, but it was legal. And what saved me was one of the colonels on base he was on the team with me. You know, he played defense with me, so he had my back. He's like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. So I was like, shit, because they wanted to fry me.
Yeah, sure. Or blackmail get some money out of you somehow, you know?
Nah, tensions were real high at the time. This was not long after the George Bush axis of evil, calling North Korea the axis of evil, and then a couple months after that, some army fellows ran over a couple young girls with a tank and sword.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so tensions were high. Tensions were high.
Was it an accident or on purpose?
Nah, well, who knows? You know what I mean? I assume it's an accident, presumably.
Yeah, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that.
So, yeah, benefits of the doubt. I'll tell you something on the benefit of the doubt on is any of this nonsense that they keep releasing all these details. Like, I heard you saying, Kane, that you weren't believing it, and I'm not buying it either, bud, because, you know, they're not even giving us the good details. They're giving us bullshit.
Like, there's no way that entire police force basically can be that incompetent. Like, I just, there's no way. I refuse. It's not even like police training. It's just a lot of it's common sense.
We all know the feds have all the evidence that ran this case. We don't have a single federal document, so it's all bullshit.
Yeah, good point.
I've come to the conclusion, JJ, that as a result of every single detail that they've released since day one, causing more questions than answers given in every single case up to yesterday and today, that it's a psyop in some form, way, shape, or form. I mean, it's cleverly...
Can you repeat that for me, sir?
Well, here, let's get back to that little interview with Bill, and I wanted to...
Are you saying witness protection, Larry, was correct? This is a hoax.
This is a hoax, dude. We were talking about it. I was on Post Woke show the other day, and she used to be like, "Oh, conspiracy theory, blah, blah," you know. She was the first one that showed us the George Webb stuff that he was saying about it, right? And
okay, if I may interject on this George Webb shenanigans, that man is a shit coder professional. Dude, here's an example, dude. He walked into Comet Pizza back at the height of Comet Pizza stuff. So comes out on a cell phone. He's like, I just talked to the owner, James Elefantis. Now he's a good CIA guy. He just runs the drugs. He just runs the guns. He doesn't do the kids and the drugs. I'm like, what the fuck is this ass clown talking about?
You're talking about the
My
reporter.
apologies. What in the Farfignugan is this butt clown talking about?
The rugs and the sweet potatoes.
He pretends to he LARPs as a reporter, ma'am. His father was U.S. Army Signals Intelligence, invented the cordless telephone, and he's been setting folks up for domestic terror shenanigans for years.
Isn't he like a UI graduate? He's like a younger kid, right?
George Webb?
Oh, I was thinking of John Webb. My bad.
George Webb Schweigert is his name. If you Google search his name, you'll find
this is a totally different person. Totally different person.
Yeah, you'll find a 2017 Charleston, South Carolina dirty bomb hoax he tried to perpetrate on some folks, along with a fella named Okie Marshall Richards, who's been I think a three decade long FBI paid informant from West Virginia. He gives us a state name.
Interesting.
I'm looking for it right now. As you can see, this was particularly interesting to you.
Wait, I want to say something, going back real quick to the victim impact statements.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I understand the families have emotions about this. I get it. You know, my sister was unalive. Like, I get it. But it was really, like, some of the statements, mostly from the G's, were really just, like, I was cringing. Like, I didn't think that was allowed. And then I went back and looked at, like, one of the motions that Jennings had filed about the impact statements, and it literally quotes the statute, which, let me just read it real quick. It just says it's supposed to be about evidence concerning the victim and the impact that the death of the victim has had on the victim's family, and evidence, hold on, demonstrate the victim's uniqueness as an individual, human being, the loss to the community by the victim's death, characterizations and opinions about the crime, the defendant, and the appropriate sentence shall not be permitted as any part of the victim impact evidence. So what was Hitler thinking? It's not supposed to be directed, my understanding, at least it wasn't in any other case that I've seen and my sisters. It's supposed to be directed to the judge. It's not supposed to be an opportunity to talk shit. I mean,
I think you're spot on, Jenna, but I also think you might have missed the subsection there about calling the defendant a pedophile.
Yeah.
It's mandated, right?
So
Isn't that mandated in the law? You call him a pedophile?
Yeah, I heard that.
Peter fuck?
It was disgusting.
Perhaps
It really was.
Sweet potato?
It was wrong, and it really made a mockery of that entire courtroom and the judicial system, in my opinion. It's not supposed to be for that. And literally, it goes against the statute. Like, hello, Hitler, what are you doing in your courtroom?
No, you're spot on, ma'am, because here's the deal. What I saw was the roast of Brian Koberger, and I saw laughter and clapping, and I've never seen that in a courtroom
Disgusting.
before. And I've never seen anyone not react. A judge. I've been in a lot of courtrooms. I've been in a lot of courtrooms for a lot of different reasons from different sides, but I've been in a lot of courtrooms, and I've never seen any sort of decorum such as that portrayed in any manner. You laugh or you act out like that, or you clap, you're going to get your bailiff is going to come grab your ass out of there and pull you right out in the hallway, and you might get charged depending on how you react to it.
My uncle, because my mom passed away, and my sister's father, he wasn't around at the trial, but sentencing. So my uncle read his victim impact statement, and he said something to the effect of, I hope you drop the soap, or don't drop the soap. And like the judge was like, Mr. Dada, like reprimanded him just for saying that, and everything else in his statement was fine. But just for saying
for sure, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of shit you'd expect to see, because that's the kind of shit that should be going on there.
Yeah, it's not meant to be used for an opportunity to like lash out. I understand, you have those feelings. Your child or brother or sister or whatever was taken away, but it's not supposed. It's just, it was really just, it gave me the ick.
Todd Miller, welcome.
Well, again,
in.
they can act as. Go ahead, sir. I'm going to interrupt you in 2 seconds. So go ahead.
Thank you. I've been watching on Not Kane Bees a lot of the video clips from other victim impact statements, and what seems to be my takeaway from that particular event was that it just lacked the passion that you see in other unaliving cases.
I would disagree. There was a lot of passion there. There was setup. They had a punchline. There was some laughter. A lot of
it
passion.
was written for sure.
It made a mockery of that courtroom. Honestly, it was gross.
But there was no.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of the statements were gross. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll tell you one example of, you have a certain family that was hell-bent on derogatory and inflammatory statements, and then you have another family that just thanked the world for its blessings and its time with their son, which I would say is the difference between school on Friday and Saturday, because on Saturday there's no class. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I love that.
I would argue that's a great point, but you have to have that the contrast of the behaviors there. You have to have for the drama.
Yeah, it was just gross.
If everyone's on one side of the spectrum, it's not as dramatic, right? You have it on both sides. You're
everybody freaking out. We're gonna eat your children.
Even with Hitler giving his own, his opinion, personal opinion about Brian and the crime was weird to me, because he's supposed to be just about the law,
impartiality.
We don't need to hear what you really think. But I guess that's happened before. But it was just a little extra. He did a little too much.
I was going to say, I watched the whole hearing where he basically served as the state and argued against the defense.
Yeah. Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah, he was only seemingly well prepared to be the antithesis to whatever Anne said. Anything else he couldn't understand. But he was even
kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he just kind of took the prosecution down the primrose path, where as the defense had an uphill struggle, to say the least.
He was being really sassy in his orders too. He would say like make little jabs, like against the defense, like about their arguments.
Well, I think the crowning achievement was calling Cy Ray a conspiracy theorist was this crowning achievement in that part.
Right? I couldn't believe that. Like, just look at the evidence, dude. Like, what?
Well, at the end of the day, old Judge Hippler's told us all to go fuck ourselves. That's all I've seen.
That's a good
and
segue.
Twice on Sundays. Twice on Sundays.
JJ, into what do you think, if any, in 30 days, his chances of getting an appeal past whoever is going to be making that decision, whether it be Hippler or Nye or Hurwitz, to be able to get a trial and vacate this plea deal?
Is this the purge? So I don't think Hippler's going to release anything. I suspect not. We're going to get, if anything gets released, it's going to be heavily redacted. This is what's not going to be heavily redacted. This is part of the show of transparency, the magic show, right? So
yeah,
they'll come in later with heavy redactions, if outright just not releasing some shit or some stuff. But in regards to his appeal, dude, he doesn't stand a chance in any Idaho court.
You think even if they take it up to the Supreme Court, do you think it's possible? Because he's going to have to get a whole new attorney. And somebody was saying, "Oh, what if Massive is going to represent him or something like that?" That would be.
I wish Andrea Burkhart could represent him. I like her. She's in Washington, isn't she?
California.
I thought she was in Washington. Whatever. Anyway, I like her.
Well, it took Dale Shackelford, the man that
I'm thinking of
Bill Thompson. Bill Thompson tried to force into plea agreements by charging his fiance, her mother, and her father back in 2000 for the murking of Shackelford's ex-wife and the author Chuck Palahniuk's father, who allegedly answered a classified ad, met the lady that day and was night. I don't buy that tale, but here's another portion why I don't buy that tale and the road that Shackelford had. By all appearances, his arguments were made in his initial trial. The body that was in that burnt out cabin there in Latell County back in May of 1999 was May 28th, I believe, was a woman without a uterus. I'm sorry, with a uterus, and his ex-wife had demonstrably gotten her uterus removed years prior in a hysterectomy. So So he got convicted of the murders, right? And there was no evidence. He was in Lewiston. Much like Koberger, he was in Lewiston, and the murders took place about 20 minutes away, and there was nothing connecting him to the crime at all. They put it all on him. The current sheriff and the current road patrol deputy, chief of the road patrol, they were the two officers on scene first. That's strange. But nonetheless, Shackelford didn't find any sort of justice until going to the Supreme Court when he got his death penalty overturned.
Interesting.
He's
still in prison.
Well, and then you have Christopher Tapp. Do you know about the Tapp case?
It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, you got to look it up. This man, oh my God. I think he spent like 20 years in Idaho for a crime he did not commit. He was exonerated by DNA, won this huge settlement against, I want to say, Post Falls, maybe. I'm not sure where in Idaho, but somewhere over there. And then he was killed in Las Vegas, like within the same year of him getting awarded that money. And
no shit.
I find that whole situation super fishy. There's a lot of weird things in that case as well. He falsely confessed. It was like it was dirty.
You know, I'm surprised that on their license plates in Idaho, it doesn't say we don't have violent crime here. But what tends to happen is you have the most violent crimes here that are disguised as something else. And
because the coroners.
I thought their state motto was "Live here and die," like "Live free and die" from New Hampshire, but Idaho's "Live here and die."
It's because of the coroner system, the way their coroner system is set up. That's exactly why all these deaths get marked as or reported as natural or accidental or self-inflicted. But if you look at if you read between the lines, not even between the lines, you read the lines, and like the garbage bag case, they found a woman or a man in garbage bags on the side of the road or something like that. I'm probably not. And it was marked.
Let's not assume gender. We don't know the gender was. May have been both genders.
Yeah, maybe.
For Kitten says the license plates say no outsiders. You know how they have different choices for vanity plates? That would be
welcome to
no
Idaho. Now go home.
Outsiders. That would be great.
Welcome to Idaho. Now go home.
Live here and die.
Yeah.
Pack it in, pack it out.
But it's
did y'all see where Nye stated that they got involved in the case as a result of Raul Labrador getting elected to Attorney General?
And I noticed
that,
his case is no longer listed on the judicial cases of interest page. It had the Daybell case, the Koberger case, and it had the Labrador case. It is no longer there. So I wonder if that is something behind the scenes.
It makes you wonder because there was nothing really. What's that?
Well, I'm sorry. What did he say exactly of that? If you remember,
he said that they got Raul Labrador took office in January of 2023. He said in March, he said, "What can we do to help these folks out?" And then they reached out and helped them out in April.
Mostly for the IGG stuff, right?
Well, that's what they said it was contingent upon, but that would have been back in December, not April.
Yeah, but you know what? The Washington search warrant that what's her name did, I don't know, whatever her name is, I forgot.
John Daniels.
Yes, she specifically mentions sealing until March 1st, right? Because there was a threat to law enforcement or something like that. I always wondered, like, what was it about March? Like, why only until March?
Because they thought he was going to plea. They thought he was going to plea, and they never have to release it at that point. It's easy to get a temporary 60 or 90-day seal. You don't have to argue for that. You can make that vague statement, and the court will give it to you. But they expect him to plea, and when he didn't, then they had develop other plans, I think, and that's why we see when shit fell out in March with the filing from the same week, we see three things happen in March, and then we see the Attorney General step in April immediately thereafter, which is Caden Young gets OD'd there with the hot shot. We see Bill Thompson filing a motion with the court saying there's a potential Brady Giglio violation, which was never come to any public conclusion ever since then. And we see the defense filing that subpoena and affidavit from the PI about Bethany Funk's exculpatory information.
Right.
So immediately following, that was all in 1 week. That was all within 5 days in March 2023.
You know what else happened right at the end of February or maybe the beginning of March is this foreign company called Quiagen. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Quigan or something like that. They purchased GEDmatch, Verigen, Family Tree. They purchased all those companies. So I wonder if for cash, it was like $7 million cash or something like that.
No, that's certainly a factor because the Mormons have been involved in selling off some of their assets in that department. 23andMe folks, the whole board quit overnight.
Yeah, and I think someone on the board is like someone high up in YouTube, like one of the owners or something like that.
It was one of the founders. Yeah, it was the founder's wife. She was there early on. Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah,
she died
somewhere.
Yeah, isn't it weird that all that IGG stuff played out at the same time? It seems to be a very big part of this as far as the IGG. I think the IGG is all a lie. I think that the knife sheath either got the DNA put on it on the way to wherever they did the
they don't even need actual DNA anymore to make. They can literally make fake DNA. There was an article I read. This Israeli company literally made a DNA profile from. They said they only needed a database of like, I don't know, maybe like it was like 500 or 5,000 DNA profiles to be able to basically create anybody's DNA just like make DNA.
Just rearrange.
Yeah, but you don't do that. You just gotta do it in the computer. You just gotta put in ones and zeros.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like people think that they actually need like actual blood or actual tissue. No.
No, there was a case with a DNA company out of Pittsburgh where it hit along these lines where the state had basically just made some shit up, and they were trying to say that it was using this one software, and the software manufacturers like, that's not how this shit works.
Not to mention, comparing the profile of Koberger's father, when you do YSTR testing, like the Y chromosome is passed down between all the men in that lineage. So you can't really tell that it could be a brother, could be an uncle. You can't prove a negative. So it's like, how did they, it's just, there's so many factors that go into that whole situation. And I'm not a DNA expert, so I might not know what I'm talking about.
There's two other things that are important about that. As far as I think the government connection with Othram Labs, and then with the collapse of all the others, the 23andMe's,
around the same time.
All that data is just going to go into one main database that's going to be accessible by the government.
They already have it. They already have, like, Interpol has access to some shared database. Now this foreign company, Qiagen, purchased Verigen, Family Tree DNA, GEDmatch. I mean, you can build biological weapons targeted to someone based on their DNA. Like, there's a lot you can do with your DNA. Like, it's scary.
Do you know that? I was gonna say. What were you gonna say, JJ?
Is this the Purge?
Even the 5 point whatever octillion match number. If you really read the words, like, it says is more likely to be seen or something to that effect. Like, what do you compare? Like, in what? Like, what database? Like, what? There's never even been 5.37 octillion humans on this earth. So, what do you like? What is it?
I think I can help you out with that conundrum, ma'am. This is the matters of schizo in and schizo out with all of their reports. It's all bullshit. None of their whole narrative around the collection of the evidence of this IGG, the transfer of the evidence, the lack of chain of custody, the lab reports, the doubling, and so none of it makes any sense, and that's the point, right? Schizo in and schizo out.
Every other case they have used IGG. They'll go and take a covert sample. If they're going to go in someone's garbage, they're going to take a direct sample. Like, they would have went and took Brian's garbage, for instance, or something from his office. Like, I haven't found one other case where they took a third party, like where they went and got a parent or whatever their garbage.
Especially
like,
when the actual perpetrator allegedly's DNA was right next to it.
Literally. And how did you know? And
well, not only that, they did that in this case. If you read that bullshit PCA, the whole, the community PCA that was signed by Brett Payne and not notarized by Lucifer Morningstar. But if you read that thing, they collected a cigarette butt from somebody, so they went to the efforts.
I think multiple cigarette butts.
Yeah, so they went to these efforts to get DNA. So again, it's schizo in and schizo out.
Yep.
All right. So another anomaly going on right now is the Showalter janitor going in. I was talking about earlier. If you guys caught that, what are your opinions there?
My first opinion, sir, is what is the third-party evidence that event ever occurred outside some fucking fictional murder mystery novel written by folks like the Gooch?
Remember early on, they kept referring to the crime scene as apartments, right? They're saying apartments or apartment. Like, I don't know. Like, that just really makes me think about how people were saying that it didn't really happen there, that it was a staged crime scene. And another thing, like, you never hear anything about any BLOOD, like, in the common areas. Like, I mean, besides this, I think they found someone in the living room, right, on the table or something. But, like, in the hallways, like on the stairs going from the second to the third, like, I don't recall reading anything about that. So I'm just like, maybe that rumor was not a rumor. Even the mayor was like, oh, the apartment.
So, like, we don't, but yeah, and I think all of it's bullshit because, like, we don't know that this event with Jack Showalter, we don't know. First of all, we don't know that is Jack Showalter's apartment.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be John, Smith.
Could be anybody.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Yeah,
his name
I
is
agree.
my name too.
We
What
also don't
about-
know the event actually objectively occurred in real actual world times, you know?
What about Jack Ducour, his cell phone? Did you read that document?
Oh, that's where the footprints led to. I'm sorry, to Jack Ducour's place. Something else I just remembered that stood out about the dog.
Kaylee, listen, Kaylee's her parents said when they got her car back that her purse and Murphy's crate were still inside her car, the Range Rover. Like, what if they put Murphy in the crate in her car, maybe, and like the thud was the door closing? I don't know, just an idea. Because didn't they say the dog was barking outside?
Well, we've never gotten a good conclusion about where this dog was at any point in time, right?
I mean, listen, Bethany's got a dog, looks exactly like it, and so does seems half the other people in that town. They've got the same freaking kind of dog. So who even knows if it was?
Well, here's the other deal, though. We now know that this DoorDash lady was present in and around the scene and around that time. We can take that as seemingly as an objective fact with all the details that have been produced on that matter. But in her own testimony, she's walking around outside at that same time with her dog.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that whole situation with that, I don't even know.
So I still don't believe, I just want one caveat. I don't believe there was a DoorDash order. I am willing to believe this lady was in and around the area. She's compromised, as compromised can be, and she got her children back. Very interesting time.
Yep, exactly. Bingo. They say this and that, and we'll drop this charge. And
they may have had her there at the time doing those things. Is what I'm saying. Even I don't know that, but certainly seems it's possible. Maybe it's not. It certainly seems plausible to me too. But on that note, well, exactly. And that whole traffic stop with Brett Payne may have been filmed for everyone's consumption.
Yeah,
and views,
just
right?
like many others.
Right.
Anything they release, I don't trust, because
I agree.
It's like, okay, why did you release this? To present your story or to back up or be an alibi? I mean, come on.
That's a great point. If I may add on to that point here, real quick on the DoorDash though. So the DoorDash, we don't know there was a DoorDash. They've changed the timelines of when it occurred, whose phone it occurred from, Zaina or Ethan's account. And there's been no objective confirmation of this. The state tried to offer that to the defense. The defense called bullshit, and the state said, "Oh, wait, yeah, we'll get back to you."
It was never signed. The whatever they call
the self-authenticating record.
Yeah, that thing. It was typed in. There was no signature on it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, well, we're not going to use it." Just kidding. Not to mention, there's a picture that I screenshot from, I think, Fox, where you could see like the forensic team outside the window that is on like the side of the kitchen window, not the sliding glass, but the one like in between that and Dylan's room.
Yep.
So, and there's one where you could see the DoorDash bag through that window, like right there on the kitchen table.
Very staged looking,
right? Right, but then there's the photo that was being circulated is by the sink. First of all, who took that photo? Because the angle seems like you would have to be inside the house to take that shot, like when it's by the sink. So, like, was it leaked on purpose, like staged, just like everything?
I can tell you this. I can tell you an objective fact on that matter. And,
please do.
And around the same time I started getting into these things, we'll call it the first week of December 2022, I got on and tried to order DoorDash from the Jack in the Box in Pullman, and they cut off at like, it was either 1:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning local time there. So how does someone place an order at 3:15, and how does that order get picked up?
Right. Not to mention she had a DUI by then, right? And they have DUIs. They continuously check your driving record for DoorDash, Grubhub, all those things, all those companies. It's not like you get accepted and now whatever trouble you get in, they'll never find out. No, they continuously, or whatever, the seatbelt one had to be kept secret. Like now that we know
what's any matter. I mean, that's a good point, but just any release of that footage at all and around the time of the scene is only drawing more distractions and magic shows.
Right.
But if you looked at so we see on the camera, we see this, stop and check for drunk kids, posting patrol. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the police call to service logs, it was a 911 call.
Another thing. okay, you have what the driver was Hesdahl, right? And then the passenger cop was Rosendahl, right? Anyway, so whichever one gets out and he's in the field first, and the three kids keep walking, right? So when the other one gets out and he's walking by them, he's like, oh, what happened? Like, they didn't stop? And he's like, yeah, but I wasn't going to push it. Like, why wouldn't you push it if that's literally your point in being out there that night?
I agree, but I want to know who called 911 and why they're trying to play it off as something else.
And why don't we hear any party at Sigma Chi when there's footage where Brian Enton was in the driveway in front of King Road, and something was going on, a party at Sigma Chi, and he said you can literally hear everything, like music, voices, but we don't hear any party sounds in the Banfield.
Right.
Not to mention it was below freezing that night, and you got like bugs flying around and the moths flying around in the the lights, the street lamps. You don't really they're not like, they don't look cold. I mean, they look a little cold, but if it's below freezing, you're gonna be like rubbing your arms, crossing your arms. You're gonna see your breath. I think you can only see it in part. It's either entirely on a different day or it's like spliced together. It's just weird. Something's up.
Well, I agree, and it doesn't comport with the actual records of the police department, because the actual records say it was a 911 call, and I think it was at 3:14. It was at 3:14. I'm trying to remember what time. I'll have to go back and look, but they had it in the records as a 911 call still after after the events here.
Yeah, I thought it said requested case. Did you ever see the footage from right before that, where there was like a girl and a guy walking, and I think she got ticketed and he didn't, and they were supposed to get her home safe, and they just like left her. Did you ever see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
I think Lana has it on her channel. Yeah, and everything's off by 2 minutes. Did you ever realize that? Like the 911 call.
I suspected all of this was a product of Disney and NASA, like it was in Delphi.
Probably, but there's like a 2 minute gap. You could hear the church bells off by 2 minutes, the body cam off by 2 minutes, because you see him in the footage, the body cam that's at the stop right before Banfield, you could see he looks at his watch at one point and it's off 2 minutes. You have grab chalk footage off 2 minutes. You have the 911 call. I mean, how did they get that basic fact wrong? Like, they kept saying it was 11:58, right? But it literally says 11:56.
They've inaccurately reported every time, in this case, repeatedly, and changed from almost every timeline.
The direction of suspect car. I mean, it's clearly Queen Road. I mean, even when they call in dispatch for the noise complaints, they call in Queen Road, 1122 Queen Road. But then all of a sudden it became King. But then how can like a suspect vehicle go east on a road that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, the direction of the car and the way they describe it in some cases is not possible, because you have King and Queen, one goes north and south and one goes east and west. So it just doesn't make sense. It's such a basic fact that they got
and
wrong.
It's not supposed to make sense, ma'am, because what we can discern from Moscow's release of documents is the FBI was tracking Brian Kohberger 3 days prior to Brett Payne's testimony when he first heard the name Brian Kohberger on December 16th in a CVS in Pennsylvania. We also know that there was a trap and trace done on the DoorDash driver preceding November 3rd, the 8 days preceding November 30th. So there's a lot of things that indicate a lot of other things that were the machinations of the frame job and perpetration of propaganda here, because they were clearly planning a lot of things around Kohberger way earlier than anyone previously thought. Well, I'm not saying anyone, but that at least is publicly portrayed. But I suspect Brian Kohberger's name was known as the Patsy, no later than November 15th, because November 16th was their first press conference.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. You also have the G's did an interview, and they said something about how they met with MPD and the prosecutor on the 13th of December, I believe. And Christy said something about how they were swirling Brian's name around at that time.
That's right. I do recall that. Yeah.
I mean,
and now we see other
wrong.
evidence supporting that, right? Now we see other evidence supporting that.
Then you have Kaylee, there being a FOIA request on the FBI website for Kaylee, no other victims, on the 15th of December. Something's weird.
Yeah, that is odd. But as regards to Koberger, though, we see the machinations of the FBI being involved far sooner than presumed beforehand.
Well, did you see what I posted earlier? I don't know if you saw it, but I think supplement document number 161. There was somebody called in with the initials AL. It looks like it could be Adam Lauda. It fits, but I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted. And says something about seeing a white Hyundai on Johnson Road on the 13th. But then on the second page, Payne says that the person AL, who he was speaking to, said that he painted the apartment of the previous tenant and someone who was people called in tips about early in the investigation with the initials BK, which the letters fit Brent Kopacka. I suppose it could be Brian as well.
Well, you'll be excited to hear, Jen, that apparently in one of the Pullman documents, I believe that Brent Kopacka was considered a suspect.
Yeah, that's what 161 says. It says something that I don't know if they use the word suspect necessarily. I have to go back and look, but I just posted it.
Maybe person of interest or something like
that. Yeah, and they found a knife in the gutter outside his apartment.
Yeah, I'm still. I did see that, and I take that all with a grain of salt. But I am still waiting to see the release of the Meow report. Hopefully, they'll have the identity of Brent Kopacka and who the hell he is, because no one really knows that, do they?
No. Did anyone else notice? I haven't seen Casey Green, his name mentioned in any of these reports. I see his badge number on the Spillman on the general narrative document, but I didn't see his name on anything. I don't think he didn't retire, and he retired right after that, I believe. Right? Anyone remember?
That I don't recall. But in regards to the Kopacka knife stuff, do you think that's a legit search and report, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yes and no, because on one hand, why even put it in? Like, it's just why. But then, I mean, do
everyone wants to blame Kopacka? I mean, it
was an apartment building, though. It was in the gutter. The painter who was painting his apartment saw it through the window in the gutter. So it could have been there. It could be, true and not true at the same time.
That's true. My biggest issue with Kopacka is we don't know who Kopacka is.
Yeah, I never really looked into that whole rabbit hole, honestly.
We don't know where he lived.
I did, and I watched the doc. I've seen and watched and listened to everything released by Pullman, and the way they describe that situation. I'm a former SWAT team leader myself for many years. That was not a SWAT team environment situation. There was no SWAT situation at all. You don't have a SWAT, some lady calling over there 30 minutes into this tense SWAT environment. Oh, could someone bring up my coffee? I forgot my coffee. And
right. Like that's what you're worried about.
Yeah. And then we see the body cam footage. There's no one shooting guns. There's no one screaming. There's an empty apartment. Like who is Brent Kopacka and what is going on there?
Right. Yeah. That whole situation. I never really fully looked into it. So I know very surface level information, but.
And why does he live? Sure. Why does he live on campus housing?
Right. That's another thing. I saw one of Brian's neighbors said something about how they were expecting more people to move in with Brian, like a family, because usually that set of housing is reserved for people with families. And they had the neighbor thought it was odd that it was just Brian living there.
I think it's very odd that a 36-year-old man who most certainly knows Brett Payne was living in campus housing and died under mysterious circumstances, under an alleged SWAT circumstance, which most certainly did not occur.
What about the other students?
The Twiz is saying the coffee pot wasn't.
I don't know. That's what a neighbor said.
It wasn't campus housing, but
I've been told that as well, sir. And here's the deal: if you go on a Washington State student camping website or student campus housing website, you will find coffee house apartments listed there. So I don't know where that's.
It's graduate. I think it's for graduate students
that
with families.
Kohlberger's apartments were graduate student
Graduate,
housing,
yeah, graduate.
which is why it's mostly families because people.
Oh, true, because they just
they're
happen to be.
older.
It's not strictly for. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know. There was that other student from WSU who died on Brandy Way or whatever, Brandy Street, whatever it is, right after sometime I want to say early 2023.
Right.
I forget his name, but he self-inflicted gunshot to the abdomen allegedly. I mean,
yeah, that's not a good way to go.
It was another weird death, you know.
Real quick, you guys, if you look at this video footage I have from Christy's FOIA request from today, this shows the DoorDash driver allegedly leaving at 4
wait, hold on
a.m.
1 second. Be right back.
Okay, and if that's the case, then you don't have this white car showing up until like 5 minutes after or minutes later. And so how could she have possibly seen that? You know what I'm saying, Jage? And so here now, the suspect vehicle 1 enters at 4:05. And to me, it's looking like this car is more and more the undercover car. So the fact that they didn't use Molly McMichael in as part of their future court appendment is not a surprise to me because clearly she didn't see shit. She didn't pull up next to them. They're ships passing the night, if that. You know, we don't even know where she goes.
Yes, sir. And I would like to see more evidence she was actually there, but I'm willing to believe it based upon what is presented in her statements and whatnot. But you're right. We don't know that she was there.
And, you know, it's almost like those body cams of her getting arrested where she's talking about it was just a setup. Okay, it was just released to the public once again to propagate the narrative.
Well, I like where your head's at because they failed to prove there was a DoorDash, and I can tell you right now, my attempts to order said DoorDash were not successful.
Well, while Jen's away for a second here.
I'm back.
Okay.
I just had to take a quick phone call.
Well, let me show Jage this. This.
Are you cloning me? If you're cloning me, Kane, I'm out of here right now, sir.
Well, you've already got 2 J's. We just got to add a third in your clone, sir. They were doing this interview that I was reading when you guys came up. And thank you for being here, guys. By the way, hula burgers are in the mail. The prosecutor here, Bill Thompson, says the word process 3 times in a row. I couldn't help but notice that.
Typical.
I had it highlighted, and I just wanted to see what you think when I read it. I mean, it was just like straight 3 times in a row. They had to process everything. It took a while to process. Where is it? It's a long article. It's actually a really good article. Hopefully, we'll get to maybe when I give you guys your break, we'll take a little continue reading on it here. But anyway, go on, Jen. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? What were you saying?
Oh yeah, I can. Mean he wants me to enlarge the video of Chris's.
Is this the purge?
Let's see, yeah, because there's somebody as soon as I believe. Oh, there's the thunder again. As soon as one of the cars leaves, somebody comes flying out of what's alleged to be Hunter Johnson's house with a flashlight. Yeah, I can make it bigger, sure. That's what she said. There's JJ. So let's take a look here in the book.
Now you mentioned something about a hula burger break, I believe. Is that what I heard?
Are you and Abner getting hot to get outside there right now?
No, but I'm going to need to depart here in about 10 minutes, sir. I do have my own show this evening.
Oh, correct. You do. Yes. Again, if somebody would put the link there for JJ, please, so we can.
Not to diminish the efforts here at the Purge or your program, sir. I just, I got to maintain my schedule, and I kind of dipping into my time already to join you here on a Thursday. I would prefer if you did it on Mondays or Tuesdays, perhaps, but Thursdays I'll be happy to join you.
You know, I apologize
Keep
for
them hula burgers running.
I feel the.
First of all, you Thursday purged me. I got a formal complaint, sir. You Thursday purged me, and then you ambushed me with that Thursday purge. I didn't see it coming.
I did tag you, and I was hoping you'd seen it. I apologize for the guerrilla warfare on the scheduling, but I
think you're plotting, dude. I think this is a part of the machination of
I
a larger
do the
plot.
show
You have to
by
cleanse me.
inspiration. If I don't, and you can see that it's been stewing for a week and a half now, and I wanted to get this all out there at some point. So when the inspiration hit and finances said okay, I came up here and did it. So I appreciate you joining us. I knew you'd be
I
pressed
understand
for
what you're
time.
saying. Union rules, huh? Union rules.
That's how it goes. You get union pay and union rules.
Well, I will be lodging a complaint with my union Muppet over all of these matters.
All right, we'll be looking forward to hearing from him. You want to hang out a little longer? We'll look at this flashlight situation.
Yeah, I'll give you a hot 10. I'll give you a hot 10.
Fair enough.
You and the fellow
On the
Fergie?
Banfield cam, you can see like it gets really dark, and then it gets bright again, and then at one point you can see a little flashlight all over like the guy, the last kid that gets ticketed, whatever his name is. You could see there's like a light flashing that is like moving around in his shirt, like someone's shining a flashlight.
Well, according to Brett Payne, ma'am, that's a good way to identify a car is by the shining of the light on a tree. So we should look into that further to see who that is.
Yeah, because what's his name, Rosendahl pulls out his flashlight, and then it gets really dim. Like, why? Like, if you look at any other footage of the Banfield at nighttime, it's bright. There was no reason for everything to get so dark as it did. And then conveniently, it's like right when he's writing that last ticket.
Oh, I hear you. Isn't it preposterous though that we're identifying things by the shining of a light on a tree?
I think they were signals, to be honest.
No, I'm saying in the PCA they say that they know that suspect vehicle one turned in one direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is if we're going to go to that level of scrutiny, what level of scrutiny can we attend to if their level of scrutiny is, oh shit, we identified it by a shining of a light on a tree. Maybe we're going to identify these kids and shining a light on the video. Maybe it's Freddy Krueger. I don't know. Maybe Michael Myers.
The runners. I mean, who's identified those people? That's what I want to know.
Well, I suspect there were some other folks present at the home when shit cooked off
agreed.
there.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. You have two neighbors in the apartments, I believe, that were interviewed. Two different statements that said at 4 a.m. there was music and like clearly a gathering of some sort there. And then again, I think it was like someone got home at like 1:30 or 2 or something and said that there was multiple people. There was like a little party going on there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there be? And why didn't Jeff Kernodle mention that he spoke to Xana at midnight? Because I saw in, I forgot what document number it was, but him and Jasmine came to King Road. Then they met them at the station and interviewed, I think Payne or Blake, one of them interviewed Jeff and Jasmine at the station. And there's nothing in that document about him speaking to Xana. They specifically asked, when did you last speak to her? And they both say Friday the 11th when she was working at the Mad Greek.
Right.
That's weird, right?
No, it makes sense though, right? Schizo in, schizo out. This is all propaganda. It's according to Witness Protection Larry, this is all a hoax.
It's weird. Something's off about that because like that's just such a weird thing to
the hardest
lie
thing
about.
to believe is the huge collaboration that they have going on between witnesses, law enforcement. That's the hardest thing to swallow.
Well, WSU is looking more and more sus. Not the school necessarily, but
the police department,
the department, the players. It seems like there's a lot of roads are starting to lead back to Pullman. And James Fry, his father, known as Richard Dick Fry, is like a WSU legend. He was like a reporter of some sort, and I think he's like the only non-athlete in the WSU Hall of Fame, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. But he's got ties to Pullman. And it's just weird. Jenkins goes and retires, and then like within a month he's back. I mean, why?
Oh, well, it's all a small network. I mean, look at the Gooch. Her law enforcement mentor was Mark Furman's cousin.
Yeah.
Furman.
Crazy.
And get this. This is from the most recent update from the Lucy Morningstar Wire News Service. That Chris McDonough fellow, when he finds that glove outside the home there on Thanksgiving, literally the first day I start looking into this shit is when that dude was out there milling around outside the home. And he, the person who points it out to him, I guess, or he was talking to, was Mark Furman's son. What the fuck is Mark Furman's son sitting out there that day?
Seriously?
Yeah, he says that himself.
You mentioned that before. What are you saying?
Chris McDonough admits that he was out there talking to Mark Furman's son in front of the home in 1122. I'm sorry, disregard 11/23/2022 in front of the 1122 King Road home. And when he found that glove that everyone made a big hullabaloo about, he was talking with Mark Furman's son out front. What the fuck is what in the Farfig Nugan is Mark Furman's son doing there?
Was he like in uniform? Like what was he? He was like just standing there. Like,
well,
what's the
I don't
context?
know. I don't know what he does in life. I am looking into that right now because here's the deal. Mark Furman claims he's a PI. He's a felon. You can't be a PI and a felon. There's no state in America that licenses a PI.
Well, from what it appears, you don't need a license to be a PI in
Well, there you
Utah
go.
or in Idaho, and that's where you
Or
get
Colorado,
because
because that you get Jensen working at the coffee shop there, right? You are correct, sir. That's where I was leading to. So
Wait, what?
and-
Who?
He was the guy that was going to do the search for the unaliving weapon. Remember?
Jensen? Who's Jensen?
Jason Jensen. He's an old school Mormon. His family came to America with the Mortensons and pioneered across America. I'm sure that's not an important detail, but he was
I've
that
seen
PI that
name
led the
in
knife.
one of the old like yearbooks.
Oh, there's a lot of Jensens. They're a deep Mormon family, but
Yeah,
he ran that knife search. But Kane called him on the purge here, and we called a coffee shop that was listed as his office.
Another thing I noticed, I haven't come across a document where they interviewed Joe Vito, the grub truck guy, little chunk boy.
Yeah, we've yet to see
Who
his
says
name
he
mentioned.
says he went to the station. He says he took the day off and went there on that Wednesday following, I believe.
Right,
and how
they
he
didn't seem
helped
to be
them
interested
with
in
the
his story.
timeline. Yeah, he gave all these like this whole spiel, but where is the interview? I don't see it.
Well, he served the same distraction as Enan Harsh did. So these are again a part of the magic show. These aren't people that are really involved in the crime, but maybe compelled to do things based upon compromised positions they find themselves in, be it through the fraternity, be it through the university, or be it through the police department.
Bingo. Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Or not the university, like in the case of BK Norton there, who put allegations against Koberger, and she never attended class with him. Is that right, JJ?
She never, according to all her own records, her own addresses, her own public records, rentals, you know, whatever she does in life to make a footprint online and whatnot, she'd been living in Portland during that time. So there is one record from Washington State that I got from the Lucy Morningstar News Wire service. It's an organizational chart that lists BK Norton, dated 7 November 2022, and she works as in the HR department. He, she, whatever that is.
Interesting. Only one of Brian's sisters was at in court, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the deal is, because remember Steve was saying how how only one of his sisters was cooperating or something like that. I wonder why.
Well, I think Steve is overwhelmingly full of shit. I agree with him on one thing though. Gag orders are for matters of national security.
But I only saw on the first document, the Spillman, I only saw Brian's mom, dad, and one of the sisters, I forget which one, mentioned as far as having an interview. Like, I didn't see the other one. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be forgetting. There's a lot of info, but I thought that was weird too. But I really wanted to talk about Jack D and his fucking phone. Why was it taken to a Washington lab and given back to him like within the same week? Did you guys see that?
Well, presumably, if those events occurred, yes, ma'am. I think that would be weird. But I have to jump, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night. 9,
All right,
9
Jay, you have a
p.m.
great show. We'll see. We'll catch you there in a bit. I'm gonna chat with Jen and look at some things.
Tomorrow night, though, sir, 9 p.m. Fridays. Phil Z.
I will be there without a doubt with bells on.
Well, good Persian, fellow Persians, and I'll catch y'all next time.
Always a pleasure, Jay. Thanks for coming, man.
Yes.
All right, Jen. So right now, I'm looking for this because Meanie, in the beginning of the show, I did draw attention to it, and I didn't spend much time on it. I think it was right here about the Humpty Dumpty time that somebody comes out of what's allegedly Hunter Johnson's house with a flashlight. And
what house is that?
This is 1119, I believe.
Oh, well, you know who happens to live there now is a bunch of Sigma Chi. Hunter, Tim, I'm not going to say their whole, but there's a picture of all the inner circle around Ethan on the steps of 1119. So it looks like a roommate photo, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I wonder if they lived there at the time.
What it appears, it's a 3-story house. There was a lot of activity. I don't know who lived there, but there does seem to be like a lot of people up and down and in and out. And they, especially when the car, I think it's when the suspect vehicle 1 leaves the scene. It might be coming up here. I think I rewinded it back to the beginning. I'm playing it at double speed, and okay. Here's a look at this. You can't see this. Hold on. Let me move this over. Look at this, Jen. There's a shadowy figure.
I'm gonna mute you so I can look. I'm gonna mute you so I can look.
They've circled it. Darn it. They've circled it on the. So apparently it was important. Look at this. You see a shadowy figure pop up right here. And I guess I'll turn the volume on so we can hear what Christy is saying about that. Can you guys hear that thunder and lightning going on? Jen?
Molly. You're going to see Molly coming along the side.
It is right over
Interesting.
my
What time is the shadowy figure?
This is at 3:49, and I had not seen this until just now. 3:49, so 3:50, 10 minutes before Molly McMichael leaves the scene at 4 a.m. allegedly.
Can you go back to 156?
Thank you, Stormy.
Because wasn't there another car in the still that was released, that was leaked, that like Olivia showed it?
I think I did see another vehicle. Yeah, let's look at this one. We'll just get this out.
Yeah.
See, right there's Molly.
I'm just curious when that car left.
Oh, this is supposed to be DoorDash driver lost looking for address. Oh, wow. Yes.
Thank you, Stormy. See, right there's Molly.
Amy Conway, hello. So this is Molly looking, because you would assume that you would have trouble finding if it's 1122 King and they're actually on Queen.
For the ones who pay attention to the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference.
Something I would encounter, I'm sure.
Offering access to quickly and easily.
This was stuff. Okay, yeah, this is the one with the flashlight. Okay, thank you, Meanie. I would not have even gone back and looked for this. So it's somebody out in the street with a flashlight. Let's see. Look how the person looks like translucent, right? Like you can see right through them, Jen. Let me zoom in and.
For the ones.
I mean, it's just a shadowy figure. I mean, to me, it looks like a man. Personally, no offense. Let's see how much we can zoom it up. I don't know if putting it in Photoshop would do it any justice or not. I could de-interlace it like I always do and sharpen it a little bit. Maybe that might help us identify. Let's see. Right. Okay, let's go here. Here, okay, let me move my stupid head. Boy, that thunder is something. Yeah, it doesn't look like a woman. Okay, I agree. Yeah, she does have a kind of a butch appearance. Right, let's keep going. Wow, that's great.
That was thunder? Wow.
Hmm?
That was thunder?
Yeah, that's what you're hearing in the background, thunder. Like,
Holy
I have
crap.
the noise suppressor on because I have the air conditioning on and it's loud. I'll take it off for a second. You guys can hear how loud it is. Here we go. The next one you should hear pretty clearly. Alright, let's go. Yeah, they definitely have a flashlight. It's weird because they're not. It doesn't look like they're shining it at houses looking for addresses. It's more like they're shining it at cars. To me, I don't know.
For the ones.
Let me see here. Okay, here it is. It moves pretty quick because that's the problem. Is the ding dong doorbell cam is it's like a time lapse almost. See. So look, you see right there. You see the flashlight, and you don't even see the person. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is really kind of weird. And then they reappear.
What time was that again?
Right now we're at 3:51:54. And there they go. Is that the only appearance? Let's go back a little. Cause she keeps having these commercials pop up. Let's see. Okay.
It's funny how the still that was leaked in the beginning at 156 is like so much more clear than this footage.
Now I'm interested to see. I want to see the person that ran out of the house also, as well. So let's keep. I keep thinking it's maybe before this. Was that it right there? Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, jeez. I'm just going to turn the audio off. Hold on. Oh, God, so loud. There. That's okay. What is that right there? Oh, that's the ad. Hold on. Christy is still working on her video editing stuff. I don't know why she would have commercials. It doesn't make any sense because this was her video. So why she has commercials? I guess maybe she posted it and then is doing a live playing it, I think. So she still has a little ways to go with, and I'll be happy to help her with as far as
Kane, you have commercials too, don't you?
I have a commercial only at the beginning and the end of the show.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I have premium.
But yeah, okay, show off.
I know I said it on purpose. I was waiting for you to say that.
He sounded so snotty. Snooty.
I wouldn't know.
Did you hear that thunder right there just now?
But listen, I've become so spoiled that now when I have to, like, if I happen to go on a different account or something, or it's on the TV or whatever, I'm like, fuck.
Oh, this isn't Christy's video. This is real-time video, I guess. I don't know. Good
Gotcha.
point, Lucy.
That's why.
Good job. Well done. Well played. All right, let's see what we got here. That's why that would explain all the commercials. Man, double speed. I see what happens here.
I don't know why it's giving me trouble. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The time speeds ahead.
Okay, I think it's right here. And unfortunately, I think it's, right there. Okay, so let me slow it down. So this was my catch as far as, that's what I thought that Meanie was talking about at first, Jen, about the person with the flashlight that was coming out of the house that we saw in the beginning of the video tonight. But, oh, you can't see. Hold on. Wait. Sorry. Let me go over here. Move it down. And there's the house. And so watch right here. You'll see there's some kind of activity. And look, it gets grayed out there because they're circling the car. And then as soon as the car passes, you'll see somebody go in front of these lights here. And then here. And then, boom. You see him. You know what I'll do? I'll slow it down. It'll be the best thing. Oh, shit. What is that egg doing to that mattress right there? Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. It's not even with it. Okay. What was that? Scourge? Okay. Let's get this played slow speed now. I'll do half speed and see what happens here.
Oh, I saw the person come out of one night. What timestamp is that?
Let's see. We'll get to right here.
Is that the same guy with the flashlight, or this is another person?
This is another person, and as soon as one of these vehicles exits here, you'll see the person emerge from the house. I think they also have a flashlight as well. So I haven't heard anybody else mention this. Is my take on it right now.
And what timestamp is that? Because
Right
it looks
now-
like there's someone in the window right before they walk out. It looks like
Yeah,
you see the shadow.
it's like
from
they're
that
running
window.
from another part of the house to walk out this little side door.
It looks like
right
they're
here.
looking out the window, and then like as soon as the car goes by, I don't know. Play it again. Regular speed.
I got it at half speed. So here comes the car. Look at that. When you look at just that, oh, that is the circle they drive. I was like, man, they sure have a perfect circle for the headlight. But that's the circle they drew on there. You can see. Sorry. Anyway. Sidebar. Let's see here. Okay, so here it comes. This is at half speed now. Maybe we'll be able to see a little bit better. And as soon as the car goes, it's almost like they're running, because when we're watching what's supposed to be Molly McMichael, you know, it's funny, there's no mention of her getting out and walking around. So, okay, there they come out of the house. And then they walk, wow, they walk really fast. Let me go back a little ways here. And I'll do it down to, what is this, 0.25. Try that. Alright, one more time. See how far they go. Okay, so you see them. This is a little slower. Here comes the car. The car makes the turn. Now they go by the window. And then boom, they come out of the house. And there they walk. Alright. Sorry, it's going to take a second to get back up to speed here. Is it going? Yep. Alright. There they're coming out. This is point to, whoa. Yeah, they're running after something. That's at 0.2.
You have that on regular speed, and they're going that fast, or
right
you have
now,
it sped up?
it's at 0.25 speed. Let me make sure it's at 0.25 speed, because
It isn't regular speed. I want to see like how fast they're really going.
well, you get, it's just a blur at at regular speed. Check it out.
Shit.
This is definitely 0.25, because there's also a slider option. Maybe because I didn't select that, it didn't do it. This is interesting.
And this is at what time?
Oh, I went too far forward. It's 3:33, I think. Okay.
Remember that demo? 3:30.
Let me see. Yep, there it is, right there. Boom. They come out, and then that's at 0.25 speed. This person was hauling ass for whatever reason. Maybe chasing down whoever was in that car.
Well, the video was sped up to begin with.
Well, I mean, I was making that excuse
Not yours,
for him.
I'm saying the original. Like this
she's
video.
got it sped up at 15 times.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
No wonder. Well, I mean,
both of our
give
brains
me
we can
credit
sometimes be
because
smart.
honestly, they it
gotta
was
go on
out
that.
of frame. I have it zoomed in, I haven't found that part in this video at regular speed. Let me try and find it. I'm not going to play it at 0.25. Okay, so this is, there's 346. We need to find 333 at regular speed. Let's see, this is 15 times speed. It would have been nice to have Christy. I guess she's at the fair eating fried brownies with her daughter.
Fried Oreos,
right
yeah.
There's a place here that I do deliveries from that has all those fried confections, like fried Fruity Pebbles and all that kind of stuff that they sell normally.
I never had fried Fruity Pebbles.
I haven't either, but it sounds
love candy
delicious.
apples, though. Those are my favorite, too.
Which one?
I love candy apples. Candy apples?
Oh, yeah, candy apples were good when I was a kid. They were great.
So good.
Thank you, Danger. All right, let's try that. Let's see. Thank you, Danger. There we go. Oh, they do it at 15 times speed, so it wasn't Christy doing it at 15 times speed. And you gave me at the timestamp, too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, so there they come running down to the house. Okay, so let's see if it's... Oh, this is 346.
Where did this come from? Like, what's this original source?
This is from the Idaho Statesman.
Okay.
Okay, this is slowed down. Let's see if they ever get it. 333. Darn commercials. Now they're getting me. I had that premium, I'll be honest. It was nice for the time I had it.
Oh my god, I'm so spoiled now.
Yeah.
You know, I have it for $10 on my cell phone plan, so like I forget that I have it.
Oh no. That's that one that'll sneak up on you and get you overdrafted. It's funny. Okay, let me make this normal size again.
It's so worth it though.
Well, you know that you can play any video without commercials by removing the hymen from the address in the title bar.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're watching a movie or something, it's worth it.
Yeah, true.
So if you just go in like
the slash or the
hyphen. So
let
me show you here. I guess I could do it with this one.
No, you don't. I don't need it. I don't.
Well, no, I'm going to do it with this one so we don't have to watch commercials.
Oh yeah, do it with that one for sure.
Let's see here.
What is Muse?
Muse. That's when I read the Muse.
Oh, that's your tab group. I was like, I don't think that's a real news source.
This one doesn't have a hyphen. That's weird. What's that?
I was like, at first I was like, wait, I don't think that's a legit news source, Kane. But that's your tab group.
For cats, it is.
Meow.
Alright, I'm playing the video, and then the only time I see... Look at that. Oh, that's much clearer right there. See how there's a lot of activity in that house. Now, at this point, I wonder why you can see so much more of the third story here. I guess they kept zooming in the camera when it was convenient or whatever. Let's see if we see that other vehicle. Alright, this is at 338. Suspect vehicle 1's first pass. Is it? Yep. And I'll try to get it all in the frame here. See how much activity. I think there's a story. There's a whole story playing out in these windows over at 1119. The car we can't see.
I agree. I think the house was owned by Police Properties, if I remember correctly, and I know that there was something listed taken from them on the evidence list.
From Police Properties, really?
Yeah, I think Xana did something for them. I could be totally wrong. This is just I'm freestyling off the top of my head. Sometimes I don't remember shit.
Are you
correctly.
freestyling, really?
Yeah, I'm freestyling.
Freestyle.
I might be lying, but not on purpose. But I know Xana did a video where she was, I don't know, she worked for them or she was on their website, something like that. And I recall seeing a donation for like $1,000, I think, from, I could be totally wrong right now. I could be wrong. No, I'm wrong. It was Vandal Solutions, not Police Properties. But I think she did work
Solutions,
for Police Properties. Yeah, Vandal Solutions
Wow,
donated
is
like
that
a grant.
is that associated with the university then?
I think so. I don't really. I don't know. I
So
didn't think of it.
even
But they
if these
donated
houses
$1,000.
are off campus, they're not necessarily not associated with the university. All right,
It's
DoorDash
also
driver
It's also
lost.
weird. That's the only house in that little area that wasn't bought out. All the other houses, besides 1122 that was gifted to UI, but you have Eagle Investments that bought those other 1118, 1112, 1126, 1127, and then also 733 Taylor, that corner house. So I just wonder, like, why wouldn't they want to sell that one too?
Did Janger post another link? I was still on that old one. Okay. So here, right here before this frame, I'm willing to accept that it's mauling. It did have that weird head shape that she has.
It looks like a man to me.
Right here, if once you catch
There's
up,
a delay. I'm probably looking at the wrong thing because I'm watching it on my phone.
Right here, it looks like they have kind of blousy shoulder pads or arm coverings or anyway.
I thought she had a hard time walking. Like, is this person like limping or anything?
You see her in various states of health.
Yeah, true.
Videos.
The pain stopped. She wasn't really. She seemed totally different than she was.
Various states of addiction probably was what it would be. So she
I
seems
don't know
normal.
if you picked up.
There's even a picture of her where she almost looks pretty out there floating, and then it's like a year later. Mess. It's like the toll of F. On your. You remember those 80s shoulder pads, Chelsea? They used to, remember those blouses used to always have the shoulder pads.
Yep.
Well, that's back when they had the trampolines like that.
You're a trampoline.
Do you want to take a 10-minute break or 20-minute break?
Yeah, but let me just say something real quick.
Yeah,
I don't know if you picked up on it. I might have said this already, but on the body cam at Pullman, when Molly was like a hot mess, where she says, "And now I have to testify," or something like that. She says now I have to. Like, I'm telling you, what JJ was saying, that's what happened. She got jammed up, and it was, hey, take this, do this for us, and we're gonna drop this charge, blah 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 blah. You could tell, like, she was clearly distressed for someone who's been through DUI before. It was more than that. She was pressured, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll take a break. I want to go.
You want to take a break? Okay, you can take a break. I'm gonna keep reading the. Do you want to add some other stuff? Give me 5 seconds.
I want to see. I was just curious. It's probably nothing. I was just curious, that car that was in the extra car that was in the middle spot, on the leaked still frame that was at 156. I was just wondering, like, when they left. Like, when did that person leave?
Which one?
Okay, so in the beginning there was a leak of just a still frame from the 1112 cam at 1:56 a.m. I think Olivia or Steve, one of them, leaked it or something like that. And there was another car in that driveway right there, right in the middle.
Oh, right. Yeah. Where did that car go?
I'm just wondering, when did that car leave? Yeah.
I think there's a bigger space between the truck and the dumpster than we realize.
Yeah, to be able to pull out. That's what I was wondering.
There was a car right here where I'm pointing right now. You can't see yet.
Yeah, right in the middle. There was another car. Can you go to 156?
They must have some kind of parking situation that they've worked out.
I'm just wondering, when did that car leave? Because if it was there at 156, like, where did they go?
I don't know. It's one of the main.
It's just something I was just curious. I just thought.
Yeah, it's definitely a question. I really feel like I need to just sit and watch this house, the activities in the windows, just like it's a grub truck or something. You know what I mean? Because look at how much is happening, especially when the cars drive by.
It looks like there's people behind the dumpster, but it might be the rocks in the landscape across the street. Maybe.
Well, the thing is
like, in front of that white truck?
What's that?
in front of that white truck, like on the side of the dumpster, it looks like there's like people, like someone standing there, but it's probably just the rocks from across the street.
Yeah, I think those are the rocks. I see what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Right now, at this point, right here, there appears to be somebody getting into a car or entering a vehicle. When you catch up, I'll wait for it. I'll wait the 15 seconds.
All right, hold on.
For it to catch up. I'm pointing to where I don't know if that's just a gap, but there also appears to be a shadow back behind this vehicle, and this is at 3:58. So I mean, if you're outside and a car goes by, oh, I see how you're saying that does look like people, because it does look like people right here.
Right, kind of.
It looks like somebody leaning forward. I don't want to get too caught away in the reflection.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, I wonder here if there is somebody. Nobody's moving, so it doesn't appear. I think all the activity. The thing about that's bothering me about the activity in the house is that it's all when the vehicles pass by, and they're all at the windows or at the sliding glass door. You don't when you're in a house. You don't sit there and look out the windows all night long.
Exactly. And it looks like you could see at points, it looks like someone either pulls back the curtain or the blinds or something, because like it'll get kind of brighter in one little corner of the window.
Yep.
Like that's a lot of light for this time.
This is really
in the morning.
Action packed, man. Man, it is coming down raining. We're gonna flood. Yeah, I keep waiting for the.
There was a body cam from that house too, I believe. Right, it could be the one next to it, maybe either that one or the one right next to it.
Oh, they go inside the house, right?
I don't know if it went inside. I think they went in the backyard. It was like a noise complaint or something. I think Lana I'm sure Lana has it. She has everything.
Yeah, good luck finding anything.
Yeah,
she's doing like 5-hour lives. Lana's a soldier lately. I'm telling you, she has, and then she's just like, you know what? They lied. She's like, I'm sick of just exposing everything. They just freaking lied about everything, and just leave it at that. I'm gonna keep still. Oh, here's some weird. Do you see what's going on?
Yeah. What timestamp is this?
Somebody's moving there, bro.
Wait, no.
The car's going by. The car's going by. The car's going by.
But I saw the window on the first floor that went out, and there was like it looks like some lights were flashing. What timestamp is that?
Right now we're at 4:07 exactly.
Interesting. I would love to line it up with like the cars on the Banfield cam.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to do. Exactly right there. I want to line it up when the kids run behind them, the 4 or 5 people that run over the little bridge behind the cops. If that lines up to when all the activity starts at this house.
But keep in mind, they're probably, I would not be surprised, and I almost guarantee it, is going to be a 2-minute delay.
Yeah, why those 2-minute delays?
It's 2 minutes exactly with everything, with the like I said, the church bells on Linda Lane footage, like the body cam versus the time that call was called in, the freaking 911 call is off by 2 minutes. Like what the fuck?
Dog barking too is off, isn't it?
Like what is with the 2 minutes? Weird.
Here's Kaylee Gonzalez's dad has been outspoken, but says one aspect must remain. He's saying,
the person who released this 1112 footage, I'm guessing, is the same girl with the initials PC, who is the one that said hi to Kaylee, the only one that said hi to Kaylee at the grub truck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's her, obviously, because it's redacted, but I'm pretty sure it's her.
Yeah, they really snubbed her there, and it appears they were talking smack about her because I can't help with this Kelly Clarkson thing and her ex dying. I just can't help to think something's weird there with that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
Everything's weird. I'm suspicious of everything.
Well, remember when Brittany Murphy passed, and then her husband passed not long? I'm getting the vibes of that whole thing. You remember Brittany Murphy?
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, that situation was weird.
Really, really, really strange.
Did you look at the case I sent you the other day? No, probably not.
Oh, I didn't get it. No, I didn't see email from you.
Was that because it was a text message?
Oh, well, then
I literally text you. Yeah.
I sorry, I didn't look at it. I must have missed it. My bad. What was it about?
Yeah. No, it was another case that was like a lot of weird little similarities. I won't spoil it now. I want you to read what I sent you. Otherwise, I'm not going to tell you. Not making it easy for you. God.
Well, I'm gonna read this document. Why don't you take a 5 or 10 or whatever,
Or 7,
and I'll open up the
manhole.
text, and I'll send it to my email. Or if you can send it to my email, so I can just open it on
All
the
right,
show.
I'll do that for you. I think I can handle that.
Thanks, man.
All right, BRB.
All right, that's Jen from Criminal Confidential there. Let's look at this a little longer, guys. I'm very, 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 very interested in this thing. What did I do, Chelsea? You're calling my name now. Let me read the chat here for a minute. The BWC is from 0256-0316, and the 112 footage that has been made available so far is only 0330 to 420. For fuck's sake, read the damn chat. I am reading the chat. It's hard to keep up when I'm doing all these things. 100,000 people are starting. Shouldn't worry about a girl. 100,000. Ray Silver, welcome in. Nice to see you. Pamela Smith, hello. Yeah, he died. Yes. And I'm getting weird vibes from him. Okay, here comes the car around. It just seems like anytime a car. Okay, at this point, it's almost as if nobody's in the house. A car went by, and they're not saying what it was, but okay, let me move this down a little bit so you can see. 3rd floor. Let's go back and look at that 3rd floor stuff. So many activities. Maybe they're doing karate in the garage. I don't know. Okay, when a car comes by here, you could say like these are reflections from the headlights, but there was no car there. So that's weird why it gets bright right there. It's like somebody has a flashlight in the window there. Okay, so now a car is coming up. That was the headlights reflecting. My bad. So let's see more in the chat here. Yeah, it's like everybody's got cancer all of a sudden. I was thinking about it. I was driving last night. That maybe it's now we're starting to see the results of everybody having devices on them, and cell phones and tablets all the time in their pocket, and I think they radiate a little more than they tell us that they do, and I think it's a result. I try to keep my phone as far away from me at all times. Like right now, it's about a foot away from me. I don't know that that's even doing any good, but I rarely put it in my pocket. If I'm in the car, it's on the seat. Or on a stand or whatever. Keep going with this. It's no longer. Fast forward on it. Yeah, there's definitely somebody it seems just looking out the window. I think that's why it gets brighter. That's what Jen was talking about. How they move the shade and it gets brighter. And here cars going by again. 405. Okay. So that's the vehicle allegedly fleeing the scene, right? Yep, here it comes. There it goes. And then this is the thing I think Tommy played right here, where you see people like pointing at the car. I don't know if it's the 3rd floor or whatever. Okay, this is the 3-point turn or 5-point turn. Whatever. Yeah, lights off, right? Elizabeth, thank you. Welcome in. Elizabeth, that's funny. There's so many anomalies here again. More questions. Damn. I hate this case. Go away. I really. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I'm done with this. But then you can't be. There's just no way. It just won't let you out. The Matrix has got us, guys. Let's just keep going a little longer if you don't mind here. We're at 15 times speed. I'm doubling that. Let's see what we get. And now it's at 416. Okay, so allegedly the vehicle arrives around 405, right? Starting at 417, security camera 1122 at 1112 picked up audio of a dog barking repeatedly. I don't know. Shortly after that time, muffled audio can be heard of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. The affidavit read, the security camera was less than 50 feet from the west wall of Xana Kernodle's bedroom. All right, this is 416 right here. 417. My impression so far, and I'll make this smaller so we can get the whole business with the car and all that stuff here. This is wild, dude. We've been hearing about this for so long, and now we got it. Wild. I mean, it's almost, in a lot of these cases, it's just like, be careful what you wish for, because when we get it, it's like, all it does is raise more questions. It's driving me nuts, man. Well, my impression so far with you hear the dog barking is after that you hear that it almost sounds like come here boy, like somebody calling the dog over. Is anybody else? I'll rewind it a little bit. Random keys could be it. Do it one more time. 416. Let me go back. Okay, this is when the car is obviously entering for the last time, right? Full turn. Should I zoom in and see if it's Kohlberger's car? I wonder if, as an option or as a standard feature on the EV vehicles, if it's standard to have LED bulbs in the headlights, because obviously you would want something that uses reduced electricity, and then you have the benefit of brighter light. So that could explain why these are so bright. And I know that's not a feature. It may be an upgrade option in the Hyundais, but I would say 99.9% of the people don't have LED bulbs in their headlights. So that's something to think about. All right, so here is 407. And you see some activity up there in that top bedroom. What's that? It's like a squirrel getting in the nut. It's like it's right by the camera. Annie Ruler, good to see you. If I didn't say hi, thank you for coming on. There's Doug. What's up, Doug? Well, what I can tell you is that I had to replace a headlight the other day, and I keep wanting to get the LED ones, but they're $52. And so to replace one, you have to replace both. You can't just have LED on one side and not LED on the other. It won't work. And so for me, it's great because when I go down dark streets, which happens all the time, I have to hit my high beams. And I would like to have those LED because they're very bright. Mine are super dim, whereas if there's a speed bump coming up, a lot of times I don't see it. So I have to drive really slow through neighborhoods or I crunch my axle. So I can tell you on these Hyundais, which I have, that the headlights are not as bright as this. They shoot downward. They would have to have their high beams on. Maybe it's the only thing I could think. Which, as we know, according to Detective Payne, that's not legal within the city limits, right? The dog barking is very loud. You would think that if it was inside. We're at 417 now. Is that supposed to be the thud right there? It's almost as if they're chasing someone away, and then the car seems to speed away. That dog is definitely outside. I love how they say on the comment, this little thing up here, that it reveals Koberger's path. It's like there's just so much that they ignore. They'll never talk about, and in the news where we know, that it isn't true, that they've lied about. They'll just absolutely never even discuss it. The only thing that they can talk about is what they think make him look guilty. All right, let me get back to this document. It's actually a really good interview. I don't think a lot of people have caught this yet. It's hilarious. Okay. So, let's see where to leave off. Yeah, right here. Okay. The following weeks were traumatic. Dollinger said work consumed 16 to 17 hours a day. Became weeks without an arrest, and officers began... See, this is where they're doxing themselves. Officers began feeling some anxiety due to the public pressure, right? But the killer had left his DNA on a knife sheath, and investigators suspected he had raced away in a white Hyundai Elantra. They traced both to Koberger and arrested him in late December at his family's home in Pennsylvania. Police intercepted Koberger racing down the stairs, Dollinger said. I was at home. It was late at night. I was laying down but not sleeping because I knew what was about to happen, Dollinger said. My phone went off. They made an arrest. And it was a huge wave of relief immediately. So once they had this whole idea of him doing it, all the pressure was off them. And so now, to avoid being put back in that pressure situation, they will bend, twist, and manipulate every single fact or piece of non-evidence in this case to make it look like this guy did it, so they don't have to do any more work. It's over. They had nothing until this tip from the FBI. Nothing. Thompson also felt relief.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting into this article right now. Thompson.
It was a fake investigation from the beginning.
Hmm?
It was fake.
Yeah, there was no investigation. It's like they weren't even trying, but then they're like, oh, we had all this pressure on us to find out who did it. I think that they had his name from day one, that they were going with it, and we're just going to pin it on this guy. What baffles me is the cooperation between the agencies and law enforcement.
Personally, I think Brian did get that job, and I think he found out something that somebody didn't want him to. Because even if you look at the Pullman Docs, you have other people who applied for the research position, and it says applicant. And then for Brian, it's redacted. It says employee. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just guessing, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if that all ties into why Jenkins retired and then came right back and came to WSU. There's been a lot of scandal over there with the WSU.
So much. It's insane.
Yeah.
It was pretty satisfying, exciting time to know that we can move forward, he said. Now we can get this thing into court. See, Jen, once it's into court, everything just goes to the court. Now law enforcement's out of their hands. And so here, work with what we gave you.
Over 95% of convictions are from plea deals. So, I mean,
right. Yeah,
they know
they'll keep you in there. Obviously, we can see they'll keep you in there as long as it takes. And they know eventually you're going to crack. Even the toughest guy is going to crack when somebody says they're pooping in your food or they're doing all kinds of who knows what else. And the horrible conditions on top of it to begin with that they make.
Being a germaphobe, I mean, and it's just.
I mean, you're literally convicted before you're even convicted because you're suffering in this jail, whether you did it or not. And So it defeats the process. It interrupts the process.
It's really scary because, I mean, look at our search histories. Any one of us could be in Brian's shoes or other people's shoes who've been in the situation. It happens way too many times than should be acceptable to any American citizen.
Well, especially
any human being, period.
Especially your weekend search history, apparently.
Hey, don't tell anybody about that.
During the 7-week hunt for the unalive, Fry, who now leads the police department in the Tri-Cities and his department, took heat from those who claimed the small department was not equipped to handle the case of such magnitude. Dollinger called it people spitting venom. Thompson and his prosecution team tuned out the national noise of media attention and misinformation swirling online. They tuned
out everything. They tuned out everything. They literally
tuned out facts, and they just leave those to the wayside.
Yeah.
They simply buckled down and built a case that was pretty darn compelling. So I think that's where we left it. I mean, you couldn't, pretty darn.
Sorry,
but it wasn't a great case, but we'll leave it as against Koberger. Thompson said there wasn't a doubt in his mind who had done it. There wasn't even a single worry about heading into trial with no motive. It wasn't needed to prove he was guilty. And we've seen.
Why did you object to every freaking motion?
Well, Thompson. We've looked on Chelsea Whitaker's show. We've looked into so many other cases, and I've seen a lot of other cases in the interim. That hi Tara, I've seen so many cases in the interim that the evidence itself explains the motive. And she did agree with me because you start to see, he did this, okay, and then it was because. It's like when you go to a bar, you go because they have 2-for-1 drinks. You go because they have a band that you want to see. You go because they have a appetizer special, whatever the case.
And I love how he was like, "Oh, well, the profilers, FBI profilers, behavior analysis, they told us from the beginning that the motive, or a normal person is not going to be able to understand." Right. Try me, Bill. Try me.
Give me a shot at it. I'll take a crack.
Try me, please.
Even if I have 3 years to look at it, I won't understand.
What about in the beginning? How I think it was Dollinger, one of the people in MPD, came out and said something about, it was Snell. He said they weren't going to release the FBI's profile because it would cause undue fear across a broad spectrum of people or something like that, which to me screams frat student. The whole town's based comes from the school basically, so that seems pretty broad and wide, a wide range of people. I mean, can you imagine if you're surrounded by students and people at the university are associated with the university, and you get a profile that comes out, a profiler comes out and says, "Hey, it's probably someone that's a student." You're going to be pretty scared about, fearful of everyone around you
going down extremely
fast. You're going to be like, "Oh shit. Every other person I run into could be the killer." I mean, that's what I got from that.
This is where it starts to get good. There wasn't even a single worry about heading into trial with no motive. Ashley and I didn't have any question about having sufficient evidence to convict him, he said. That was never an issue.
Because they knew Hitler was going to be on their side.
Lamar, who has served as county commissioner the last 10 years, believed the right prosecutors were in place to get a conviction. He called Thompson a mastermind of prosecution.
This is satire, right?
It's Mad Libs, I think. And then right after he joked that he wouldn't want to play chess against him.
Is this mew 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 meow meow news.com?
Muse. We are so incredibly lucky, he said. Every day that I'm working as a county commissioner, I am just so thankful that he's our prosecuting attorney. He is the very best in the state of all 44 counties, and I am willing to believe that every other prosecutor would say the same thing. Even while immersed in the Koberger case, Lamar said Thompson always attended commissioners' meeting to make sure commissioners could make decisions with legal oversight. He said detail-oriented Thompson ensures Lamar and his fellow commissioners get their legal question answered, even if that means Thompson or his staff need to research to find the answer first.
I don't think they know how to research.
He called Thompson a terrific coworker and friend.
They all kiss each other's
We've
ass.
been lucky and spoiled really to have him for so long. He called the guilty plea the absolute best result that could have happened, because it puts BK behind bars for life and it takes his appeals away. A jury trial is unpredictable, and even if convicted, endless appeals could result, Lamar said.
Okay, pause for a second.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay, it's a plea deal, right? Deal.
Yes.
So say your terms, Bill. Like he could have. He was like, oh, we can't really make him tell us this, and that. Yes. Well, yeah, you can.
It's called bargaining.
But
yeah,
you
the art of
can
negotiation.
make a deal. Here's the deal,
art
buddy.
of the deal.
Right. Make it part of the deal, dumbass.
It's said that Bill is against the death penalty, and he has a record of getting these plea deals. And I think I would love to know what the actual guilt to innocent ratio on those plea deals really are. They just have a way of it's literally torture.
It is torture.
And
they make examples of people. So let's say you say, no, you know what? I know I'm innocent. I'm going to trial. Like, no, I didn't do this. I'm not going to say I did this. Then you know what? They make an example out of you. Now they're going to throw the book at you. And now next time when someone else is up, they're going to be like, you don't want to be like this person. See what happened to them? They went to trial.
Guess what's going to happen?
And that can happen to you too. So you get scared. It's fucking psychological manipulation, and it's wrong. It's wrong. You should not get penalized for exercising your right to a jury trial. There should not be a penalty for that. It makes me so angry. I'm triggered. I'm sorry.
This thing was finally put to bed, and it's good for everybody. So here they are telling you what's good for you. The victims' families, all of you silly web sleuths. This is what was best for you. It's put to bed. They really think it's going to go away, and they really can't I understand they're freaking out that people are still so interested in the case. It's sad to see.
What did they think was going to happen when we read these things? I mean, did they think we're stupid? They really think we're stupid.
Well, it's sad to see that so many people that were objective as far as YouTube creators and chatters have jumped ship. It's like, okay, whether he's guilty or not,
even if he
you can fully see that they brought in a grand jury to indict him. Why? Why, Jen?
Because you can indict a ham sandwich.
Because they didn't have shit. So
but
they had to fake it.
Almost 100%, pretty much, of grand jury convictions, of grand juries convict. I mean, it's not anything. You shouldn't be proud of yourself for getting a conviction, Bill Thompson, because almost every grand jury sides with the prosecutor. It's a one-sided argument. There is no argument.
Well, even though we know that some of the grand jury members had convictions about, they had questions, and they weren't sure that they agreed.
They still sided, right? So that tells you something.
In the end, they were pressured to do it.
But you know what's messed up is people don't realize, and I've been saying this. My favorite thing to say: guilt and corruption / incompetence. They can both exist. They can all exist simultaneously. So even if he did it, fine. Like I'll accept it if he's a grown ass man. He said he did it. Okay, fine. But it doesn't mean I believe it until I hear a story that makes logical sense, because I'm not a freaking sheep. A sheep. Oh. Is sheep plural and singular? Sheep?
It is, yeah.
Not a sheep. Sheeps.
A flock
I'm
of
saying?
sheep.
Like, I just want to hear. Listen, I would love nothing more for him to be guilty and just to fucking get this thing out of my head. But I'm invested at this point. Like, I can't let it go now. Yeah. My brain won't allow it.
They got another thing coming. Let me read on here.
Read on. Read this satire article.
Read on Kane B.
Meow.com.
Okay, here we go. This is great. He credited Thompson and Jennings for their work and the gruesome details they had to review. We have to recognize her. She's been amazing as well, said Lamar, noting Jennings' focus, thoroughness, and professionalism. Shush. Latah County Sheriff Richie Skiles also said that the county has been fortunate to have Thompson as prosecutor for 33 years. Did you notice that?
Oh my God, they're all stroking each other's dicks.
But 33 years, dude.
I know, I saw that. I noticed that.
Unbelievable. Besides housing BK in the Latah County Jail, Skiles said the sheriff's office wasn't deeply involved in the case. BK and his defense team approached the prosecution with an inquiry about a guilty plea in June, after a judge made it clear the defense was not allowed to present names or alternate perpetrators. See? So there was your result. That was the final bang your head against the wall. BK doesn't stand a chance in an Idaho courtroom. You can all go fuck yourselves moment. Was the alternate perpetrators. When they've said themselves now, Bill Thompson said that he thinks 2 different weapons were used in the crime. We know for a fact that there's no way somebody could have stabbed somebody 50 times and 30 times and done all these slicing and dicing and cleaning up in 7 minutes. It's absolutely insane. And when especially when you got people.
If you look at the autopsy report or whatever we're showing that's called the autopsy report, I mean, it's pretty obvious to me at least that whoever did this, they knew anatomy. Like they knew where to place the fatal wounds.
Right, with the carotid artery and stuff like that.
In all of them except Kaylee. Kaylee was the only one that had like extra. Everyone else was like long, clavicle, jugular. It was someone who knew.
Well, also you have to think if
except Kaylee, someone was angry with Kaylee.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It lends itself more to a revenge thing. If you're going to go to the excess of going over the amount of times that it takes to finish somebody off, I guess you'd say, then there's purpose behind that. And
you saw that video I sent you where Kaylee's got boxing gloves on and she's like beating up her, I think it's her brother.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember.
Okay, she could fight. Okay, like she was not like a little frail girl. You cannot tell me that person standing with this in the picture with his thumbs up was able to overtake. Let's put Ethan aside. Forget it. A grown ass male in the house, but no way. There's no way. These are not frail little, daisies. These are Idaho girls. Like they're tough. There's no way it was one person. Impossible. They were subdued. If there was one person, they were subdued somehow. Period.
Lucy's trolling the chat. But no, she's right. They were prepared to argue that they were able to. There is no way you could get out of your car, go into a house that you have no idea anything about, do all this, and then get out in 2 to 4 minutes. I mean, it's like they didn't have any of the evidence when they did it. It's like, I'll just go in, 1 stab each, and then walk out. Okay, that's 4 minutes. It could be done.
Right, like hindsight is 20/20, but they don't really know what happened. That's the thing. You can't. There's no way. Not to mention, you can't. There's no way to figure out the length of the blade that was used. You can figure out the width, but each jab is going to have a different amount of force behind it. And what's his name? Joseph Scott Morgan. He was even talking about it in the very beginning, that you can tell if it's serrated or not, and the width, and that's about it.
Yeah, and it appears that the K-bar was serrated, and a K-bar was not used in this crime, as much as they want to sell that to you.
Meanwhile, they found other knives that were called in as tips, and Brett Payne apparently is an expert now, and he was able to tell just by looking at it. Oh, it doesn't look like the one. Just because you found a sheath, we don't even know if that's. Oh, don't even get me started. But you just remind me of something. There was a key listed on, I forget what document. I got to go back and find it in my notes, but they found a key on the retaining wall on the right. So, I mean, come on, no forced entry, and now there's a key. I mean,
well, you also had so many people in the area that had the code to get into the house anyway.
Allegedly, but then you had that girl on the Amazon special who said, I think Ashlyn said it, that it wasn't a party house, like they were safe there, blah blah blah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when I read that Kaylee had an apartment across the street, and
there is no way that it could be done in that amount. Not in 4 minutes. Definitely not by one person, because you have to think these people were held. They were bound in some way by whether somebody was holding their arms, beating them, they're punching them. It's too many floors, too much time, Tara. There is no way that one person did this.
Yeah, it's just not possible unless they were incapacitated somehow. It's the only way. Period.
Right.
Or if Ethan and Xana were, because one of the court docs said that Ethan and Xana were unalived at the same time, right? If I remember correctly, the document that said something about a cleanup and more than one perp. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I can accept. Let me address Tara real quick. I can accept that Ethan's legs were cut, but I cannot accept that he was laying on his back and they cut the backs of his calves. That is just very odd. It seems like an odd thing. I can accept that he was asleep. Okay, he was asleep, but why would you cut the backs of his calves from underneath? Because, if he wakes up, he's going to kick you in the face. So, and to have done it quietly somebody said the other day that it seems like Bethany and Killian were held hostage and threatened, and every result of if that activity did occur seems to fit what happened after, and so if it was whoever it was, seems to have access to them enough to be able to scare them to death to keep them quiet all this time. But,
I didn't see anything in the documents that were released by MPD that mentioned Dylan texting Gower asking if he was still driving. Did anyone else see that?
I did not see that.
Because if that really happened, that always seemed like code.
What happened?
Code for,
what was
clear.
It? I'm sorry.
How Dylan had texted him allegedly. I think it was in a court doc, right? It said to inquire if he was still driving or something like that. Remember?
Oh, right. Are you still driving? Right. Oh, Gower.
Right, which I
thought you were saying
for
some reason. I thought you were talking about Blaker or something.
Yeah, but I haven't found it in any of the recent documents from MPD. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I want to do the next show. I want to do, because Miss Potts has been going through them, but I don't think we've gotten to all the Pullman stuff between Chelsea.
Oh no, this is MPD. I haven't looked at the Pullman ones.
So really I want to do a full breakdown of those maybe on Monday. I'll do another purge and we'll get into that.
Right on.
But this article is so telling. Let me go on.
Okay, come on.
We were never looking for a plea in this case, Thompson said. Bullshit. I don't know how many members of the public understand that. Probably zero. I understand there are folks who don't agree with our decision, but I don't care. Just put that in parentheses. I appreciate there are folks that agree with the decision too. Well, the families, I mean, really, he
I can't
literally
read this. I have to
says
mute
this.
myself. I have to mute myself because I keep laughing.
While the families want to know why Koberger did the loved ones, Thompson believes even in this case had gone to trial, there would have been no acknowledgement of responsibility. It's kind of hard when you didn't do it.
You could have at least tried.
The plea at least forced Koberger to admit what he had done in open court rather than maintain his innocence. It is unclear why Koberger eventually pleaded guilty. Thompson said, adding that the only people who might know are those on his legal team. I think the other thing we need to remember is that even if he were to say something, there's no way we can believe what he's going to tell us, and there's no way to corroborate it. They can believe that he said guilty, but they can't believe anything else.
You gotta believe us this time.
At the time of the killings, FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, they are so worthless, the Behavioral Analysis Unit, literally, approached investigators and warned them they may never find a reason. So they just gave up.
I don't think that's what they do.
What, literally, yeah. Literally,
I don't think that's part of what they do.
Literally, I mean, whatever the FBI says, they just run with it like a tapestry going right across. It can only make sense to the person who committed the crime, Thompson said. This is just cold, calculated unaliving, which is inhuman. It is not a natural part of who we are as human beings, he said. They are just different in a way that ordinary people like us will never be able to understand. It felt
we're
like
too basic to get it. We're too basic. We won't comprehend.
Yep, we never can figure it out. It felt like everyone took the words from the Behavioral Analysis Unit seriously, Dollinger said to the Spokesman Review. Normal human beings can't rationalize the reasoning behind it.
There you go.
I took that to heart. I think we all did. It's us against them. It really is with law enforcement. We're the what do they call it? The profane. That's what they say in the Freemasons. Anybody that doesn't have the knowledge of the Freemasons, you are the profane. You can never understand.
You're basic.
You are
You're
dirty, and they give that same message in fraternities as well.
You're basic.
And the process church. During the emotional sentence, Thompson probably could have done what he always does to other defendants: point at them, look at them, acknowledge them, or engage them. As Kohberger sat there expressionless, Thompson chose not to. Recounting the day in court, he shrugged. I just wasn't going to waste my time with him.
I don't think that's the reason. I think same reason that Dylan couldn't face him.
The case against Kohberger was all-consuming enough to prompt Thompson to keep a notepad by his bedside. I woke up every night for 2.5 years with something about this case going on inside my head. And if you don't write it down, you will go back to sleep and it'll disappear.
He made it up in his head. He admits it, at least. I mean...
These dreams go on. There was little time to focus on overwhelming emotion. While working such long hours, people were always looking at the next step, Jennings said. For weeks, investigators and attorneys pored over thousands of pieces of evidence, prepped for hearings, and responded to court filings. This case that stays with you. You don't just go home and say, I'm leaving that there. You can't, Jennings said. We were waking up at 2 a.m. thinking about the case. We were all checking in with each other, asking, did you get any sleep last night? No, that was our life.
That's reassuring. So they were sleep deprived and basically playing roulette with someone's life.
They were spun out, dude. It's got to be this guy. It's got to be.
Yeah.
No matter what. It was tougher on my wife than I realized at the time, Thompson said. Even though she did not have details about what was going on, she knew enough. She could see enough in me that she was stressed as well. Thompson said playing music with his bandmates provided a mental respite. His band. I didn't play out all when the case first broke. I didn't play out at all when the case first broke. He said, I just didn't think it would be appropriate for me
I'm going
to
to
be
call
out
him
in
bullshit
public.
on that because I have video of him playing literally at least
Right
twice.
after the hearing, he's playing Knocking on Heaven's Door, dude.
I mean, listen, you gotta,
Liar,
dude,
you're a liar.
You gotta burn your, you gotta relax sometime. I'm not, blaming him for that.
I have no problem with that.
But you didn't.
Here he's saying literally that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't see that video, Jenny. Missed that one of yours.
Well, I did.
We all did. I just don't think it would be appropriate for me to be out in public looking like I was having fun. Well, it wasn't appropriate, and we all called you out on it, Bill, but you did it anyway. Jennings' daughter was 9 years old when the case began. Even then, Jennings said her daughter understood the gravity of her job. She acknowledged there were parts of her daughter's life she missed out on in the last 3 years, and other parts of her poor Jennings. I don't think
this emotional manipulation. Like they're trying to pull on everyone's heartstrings to distract them from the bullshit.
Oh, so they got the tiniest violin in both hands.
Yep.
I don't think I made it to a Thanksgiving during that time because there was just always something that came up, Jennings said. But they know when you take this job, you have a duty. It's important. She said duty.
You said duty.
In some ways, Jennings hasn't processed. Here comes the process.
Process.
There's 3 of them right in a row. In some ways, Jennings hasn't processed all that happened. She said because the whole prosecution team has been running on adrenaline for years, the sentencing was especially hard because she could feel the grief in the room. Both called it palpable.
Quote unquote.
During the sentencing,
no sleep, weird dreams, and adrenaline, if that's what they want to call it. I'm just kidding.
Thompson leaned to shield Dylan Mortensen, a surviving roommate of the tragedy. Mortensen, who had to collect herself to be able to speak, was crying so hard it appeared she could barely breathe. All of it was really tragic, and you could really feel it for each person, Jennings said. We're kind of used to it being in these situations, but this day really stood out for me. I struggled getting through it. Dollinger said the police department is now doing better. The case hung over their head for 2 years, and that takes a toll, but all are healing and getting back to. Now, it's definitely telling about the opinion of the citizens of Latah County since they voted Fry out as sheriff. Not out, but they didn't vote him in by a landslide. So if he was this celebrated hero that did this amazing investigation and communicated well with the public, they would have elected him sheriff, right? That's all he wanted. And then he acted like, oh, I'm retiring, and then they move him over to Tri-Cities. As for Thompson, he has about 3.5 years left on his term, and he said he will use that time to figure out whether he will fulfill that term or retire early.
He literally ran unopposed, so don't be so proud of yourself, buddy.
We have a good team, he said. Ashley's a great senior deputy, and so I have absolute faith in the integrity. There's that word. Integrity is doing the right thing, whether somebody is looking or not. And they did not do the right thing.
If you could see my eyes rolling, I mean,
there's no more room for it. That's unfortunate.
They're gonna be permanently stuck in a rolling position.
So like you're having a seizure over here.
Really, seriously, this is satire, right?
I'm thinking that it's going to be used against them. I really am. Thompson has lived in Moscow for nearly 50 years. He came to the smallest college town in 77, so he's an outsider too, to attend the University of Idaho College of Law. What a great institution. Idaho College of Law proud. Graduated May 17, 1980, the day before Mount St. Helens erupted, ironically. A week later, he married Frances in Boise. He worked 12 years in private practice before he was first elected as county prosecutor. Moscow, Thompson said, is a good place with good people. It was apparent through the hundreds of meals, drinks, and gifts residents dropped off for those working the case. There wasn't a day...
Little did they know they weren't working.
I used to be like that too, man. I used to buy sandwiches every time I saw a police officer at the Wawa. I would buy them a sandwich.
There's nothing more I love than an officer who does his job the way he's supposed to. Sure. I applaud the F out of that. I love that. I love it. But
I think the dark side, though, overshadows it.
Right.
As far as their effectiveness and being able to work on a daily basis. I don't know.
Yeah.
There wasn't a day that went by where an investigator or attorney went hungry. Well, that's good to know. If anything, he believes this made Moscow stronger. It's brought people together on horrific circumstances, and we have certainly seen things that you cannot erase. You can't claw your eyes out. Now, I wondered if that was a reference to maybe the injuries on one of the victims.
Oh no.
Doesn't that sound kind of dark, dude?
It's like when what's his name? One of them said, I think Barrett said, "We'll fall on that sword if we have to," about it being targeted or not. Do you remember that article? I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. I mean,
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Say it again. What'd you say? I'm sorry. I was
so one of either Barrett or Dollinger, or Snow, one of them, whatever. They're all the same to me. Did an interview. There's an article, and he was talking about it being when they kind of walked back on the targeted, not targeted statements, and he said something that we stand behind it being targeted. We're just not sure if it was the house or the occupants, and we'll fall on that sword if we have to. Like if they're wrong, basically. I'm like, that's kind of an inappropriate thing to say.
Going through the news here. That was the end of that article.
The first house I found with Lucifer Morningstar and the Eagle Investment Group connection, right? Was that 733 Taylor Avenue, the one in the corner that has that sign that says the Lodge. Remember that? That the real estate agent on those documents is someone named Jessica Dollinger, and I wonder if that's like his wife or something.
Oh wow, or close.
Because the documents are dated November 13th, like the day everything happened, which is weird. Like I didn't on a Sunday. They're selling houses on a Sunday, but whatever. Okay, but that's the Lucifer Morningstar Eagle Investment Group. That's the whole connection to the other houses.
So this is, if nobody's seen it yet, I'm sure most of you have, the dollhouse, as Bill Thompson referred to it. And they were going to use this for whatever reason. It took 2 years to build. Here's the final product I think it probably cost them millions of dollars to build this house, because they had to have the original house torn down so badly.
Because you're hiding something.
Look how important it was that they tore it down so quickly, and look at all the great things they've done with it. Part of tearing down the house, part of their promise was they were going to put the memorial there, or a park or something, and instead they opted for that space shuttle, stupid rest stop.
That is the stupidest and ugliest memorial I've ever seen. And I saw some news footage recently where they showed it, and it's like all like dirty and like overgrown weed. Like it looks like shit. It's just crazy.
It was an insult. It's not necessarily dedicated, and the dedication ceremony itself was a complete insult. I think that anybody that's looked into this case enough sees that they're covering up for the university somehow, or somebody involved 100%. With the university, and they even are, it seems like, saying it themselves.
100%. They've been covering since day one, starting with the 911 call, which is another weird thing. Like, how they kept saying the call was made from one of the roommates' phones from inside the house, right? They made a point to stay inside the house. But then we hear that Hunter told them to go outside, and then they called 911, even though we hear it on the 911 call. But why make a point to say the call was made from inside the house if it was made from outside? It just was weird.
Well, the conclusion, Jen, hear me out on this one. I've come to with that 911 call is you have the 2 surviving roommates.
Unharmed. Let's call them unharmed.
Well, listen to this. They go by and they hear a noise. Something scares them. They walk by Xana in what we were told now is the messiest crime scene. A pool of blood around her. Ethan cryptically laying like he's in a coffin. Run downstairs, then continue about their life doing various,
look for jobs,
all
edit
kinds of
pictures.
things, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: when you get to the 911 call, they say that I think Hunter and Emily approached the house.
Well, Hunter was there first, I thought.
Hear me out. Dylan and Bethany were already crying. Okay? So if you have somebody that's passed out because they were too drunk, have you ever cried? Wouldn't you just be like, hey, wake up, go to your bed, put a blanket on them, do the bro code in some way? Okay, so they come out of the house already crying.
Holding your faces or something, right?
Yeah, and so now Hunter Johnson goes in the house seemingly unaware and then comes back out. They make the 911 call, still seemingly unaware to everything, then goes back in the house and puts on this act that he's finding something at that point.
And on the 911 call, the operator asks Dylan, like, if someone passed out or not, like, what's going on right now? Not at 4 a.m., right now. She's like, I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Dude. So, bitch, if you didn't know, then what are you crying about? And what triggered you to all of a sudden be scared when you've been not scared for the past 8 hours? And why are you saying you don't know? But then at the same time, she also saw her on the floor for the second time when they went inside with Hunter. And also, let's not forget, because it was only in one document, where she was checking Ethan and Xana's snap map locations during that 8 hours. Like, I thought you walked past or ran down the stairs and saw her. So why are you looking to see where she is? Like, what the fuck?
Let's address this real quick, Jen. What they're saying in the chat is they're talking about Brian being too trusting. Okay.
Yes.
That perhaps he should have fought the extradition. That and all these things, and so I think that lends credibility to the fact that he just thought once they looked at his phone, they would have realized he wasn't there. And so he's like, let's just get this over with and I can get back to my life. And instead they want to focus on he was wearing gloves. Well, he was germaphobe, germ-obsessed. He had
would you touch trash with bare hands?
Asperger's is a serious disease. You know, they never say, oh, he overcame Asperger's and got a PhD.
Wait, I do mean addiction. Not Asperger's is neurological. You can't overcome that.
He had Asperger's.
Yeah, but you said he overcame that. His autism or Asperger's, whatever you
say. He managed to work with it and
right.
was able to get a PhD, which most
some hurdles.
Probably couldn't. I couldn't get a PhD.
I couldn't do it.
I mean, I probably have enough credits to have a PhD.
Here's the thing. I was reading this article about how autism affects the criminal justice process and defendants, etc. And there is a higher chance of false confessions due to a lot of people on the spectrum who maybe have like a too much trust in authority figures. And I think we see that when he's asking to go get coffee when he's in zip ties or handcuffs.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture that was released of him when he was arrested?
Yeah. What is in his pocket? Because don't they pat you down and take everything out?
They said that he had no idea why they were there.
It looks like his phone or something's in his pocket. Like, I call bullshit because I'm pretty sure they're gonna take, like, they're gonna search you and take everything out of your pocket.
As long as they had his name, why on earth did they wait till he went to Pennsylvania to arrest him and pull this whole thing and let another agency handle it?
I'll tell you why I think, my opinion only. I think they needed either they did it because Pennsylvania takes a DNA sample upon arrest, whereas Washington, Idaho takes it after sentencing, and they never had his DNA to begin with, and they did something with that. That's how they got the profile to compare to the trash. Or maybe they did it because then there's probably some legal loophole, like make it seem like he's a fugitive, like he's running. Maybe. I don't know.
That is exactly it. They tried to make it look like a fugitive.
Right.
And they ignored, listen, to get to the Q-tip that they allegedly used of his dad's, if his DNA wasn't somewhere in that trash evidence, all they had to do was go to the trash can right next door and pick it out of there, because they knew he was putting bags of his stuff in there. So why didn't they do that? Why didn't they go to Washington and get it? Why didn't they get it out of his car? You know, I mean, give me a break, dude.
Or when he was going to eat Thai food, when they stopped him in Indiana, which they claimed wasn't, yeah, right. Bullshit.
Or his office, or his apartment. I mean, you have so many damn things.
Any of the above. Any of the above. Mm-hmm. Now, another thing, okay, if you pull up the press release from MPD on the 19th and compare it to the one on the 20th the next day, it's night and day. All of a sudden, the one on the 20th, they don't mention the roommates being asleep, or it basically goes from 6 pages to 3. And I think that's very telling, because they already knew, okay, we got our story. You want to pull it up? I'll email them to you. It's crazy when you really look at them side by side, the difference between the press release on the 19th from MPD versus the one on the 20th. They already knew they got their man.
The problem is, I really think that at that point they knew. And I wonder if there's only certain portions of law enforcement that know who really did it. You know, or if somebody was also involved with him, whatever the case may be.
Of course. And
Roey's here. Hi, Roey. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
All right, well, that's about all I have, unless you want to do a wrap-up here, Jen. We're at 4 hours, so...
No, that's good. That's enough.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't know we'd gone that long. It goes by so fast.
I didn't realize either.
It's
and I wasn't that
amazing,
late today.
Yeah, you were. I knew you'd be on top of it, because you've been holed up in that basement for so long. So
I know.
We always have a lot to talk about when we haven't talked in a while. So hi, Mommy Ball, and I didn't say hi to Ratch. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody that's watching and chatting. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna rage quit, so you have to watch my last commercial.